As you can see, there goes Chris Rock. Hands behind his back. Hands behind his back. He's not even flinching. Damn it, Johnson. Now I'm studying this. See, I saw the clip. Now I'm really looking at it. Look at this picture. Does that look like a man who's caught off guard that he's about to get slapped? So, Will Smith slaps Chris Rock. Then, Chris over here, you know, Tim, you can take yourself off the screen for 2 seconds, can't you? There we go. That's the scene. That's the perfect scene. There you go. That exposes it all. Nice slap to the chops. Nice slap to the chops from Will Smith. And what's not depicted here is what happened right after that. Right? I'm back. Because Will Smith walked off like he was a gangster. He walked off, pimping like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Then he sat down in the seat and Chris Rock's like, I just got the shit slapped out of me by Will Smith. He just slapped the shit out of me. And Will's from the seat yelling, keep my wife's name out your mouth. And Rock's like, I made a G.I. Jane joke. All right. I made a G.I. Jane joke. And Will repeated it. Keep my wife's name out your mouth. So there's all this conversation. Of course, this is huge. Huge news because, honestly, guys, who's really watching the Oscars? Not a lot of people. I wasn't watching the Oscars, but I got hit up. A friend of mine named Joy. Joy sent me the clips and I can't wait to hear your reaction to this. So I got a DM on that. Then I got notifications. I'm like, my goodness gracious. Well, what happened here? And what's really wild is that Will Smith went on to win an Oscar tonight. Now, some people are saying he should have won 2. One for his performance of being fake upset. And the other for the actual King Richard, which is the role he played as the Williams girls, Venus and Serena's dad. Okay, so that's where we at, guys, and that's what we want to talk about. So what do you think about it? Now, some people are saying that Chris Rock insulted Jada Pinkett Smith with the joke about G.I. Jane. G.I. Jane being a character played by Demi Moore in a movie back in the 90s, where I would think it was one of Demi Moore's back when Demi Moore was the ish. And it was one of her most famous roles. She was a headliner of a big budget movie, an action movie. And in that movie, she played a tough woman, veteran, a woman in the Army, and she had a buzz cut. So when Chris Rock made the G.I. Jane 2 reference, he was talking about Jada Pinkett's hair in an indirect way. We said, see you soon, Jada, in G.I. Jane 2. See you in G.I. Jane 2. And then he went on. And that's when Will walks up on the stage and does this. So there are people saying, Tim Black, well, you got to understand that Jada Pinkett Smith suffers from an autoimmune condition, alopecia or something, okay? I didn't know that. But my thing is this. That doesn't give Will Smith the right to assault someone. That doesn't give him a right to slap someone over a joke. Because you know you're at a comedy. When there's a comedian on the stage at a show, he makes jokes about people. That's what he does. And you should not be so thin-skinned that you're going to resort to assaulting a person over a joke. Over a joke. This is what they do. There's often biting jokes made at these award shows. That's what the hosts do. It's not new. And if you are Will Smith, and you will had to know he was up for an award tonight. We all knew who was up for an award. So he knew he was going to get a lot of attention. Why is he acting surprised that someone made a joke about him or about Jada? They're a celebrity couple that's often talked about. You're about to, more than possible, he did end up winning. I'm not saying he knew he was going to win, but he was very favored to win. Like, he was very possible that he would win an Oscar. You got to expect people to talk some stuff. You got to expect some type of ribbing or jokes, right? That's how I'm looking at it. So I have a lot of thoughts about this because I made a list. So I'm just going to start off with one, then I'm going to take a phone call, or I'm going to go with one or two of my points that I've written down so we can have some cohesion to this discussion. Where's the responsibility for our actions? I think Will did the wrong thing, but I'm more upset with the people that are co-signing him doing the wrong thing just because they like Will. And it's just because they like Will. They're only co-signing Will Smith because they like Will Smith. And for some reason, they hate comedians. See, comedians are fine when they're joking about other people. But if they touch on something that bothers you, okay, now it's time to cancel them or boycott them, never let them work again, or in this case, now we're going to slap it. Now we can physically assault them. And not only does the person who does the assaulting doesn't have to apologize, doesn't have to be contrite, but they could double down on it, make an acceptance speech where they basically say, I'm defending my wife's honor. And then we have all these people that smile along with it, who nod their heads in agreement. Like this guy, like, here goes, yeah. So there were people that I felt that agreed with Will Smith, like Denzel Washington, which I find because he gave him a hug and laughing. They're laughing it up. And to me, it's kind of weird because in Denzel Washington, the main one, always talking about personal responsibility. Personal responsibility. He's always the one saying you can't blame the cops, don't blame the system, don't blame slavery or Jim Crow or discrimination. Don't blame anything. Blame yourself. But when you get mad at a comedian, it's okay for a rich guy to go up and slap another rich guy on live TV over words. Over clearly a joke. Very clearly a joke. You can't pretend, you can't misinterpret this as if this was some serious dig, some serious like tabloidish like thing. This is like, it's a dig. So where's the responsibility? Why is it all of a sudden now there's no responsibility for one's actions? The other thing is elitism. Yeah, I don't think Will Smith does this if Will Smith is just Will Johnson, who's not a celebrity. Yeah, I don't think Will Smith does this if he's not Will Smith. I don't think he has the guts to walk up in front of all of these people with cameras and police and bodyguards and all the other shit that's at an event like this and slap a presenter over a word, over a couple words on stage. I think this reeks of elitism, man, because you don't do this. You don't do this if you're a regular person because you know your ass going to jail or something. But see, Will knows he's not going to go to jail. He knows there's going to be no repercussions. Hence, the pimping off stage as he walked away. He didn't, not only that, he did not leave the venue. He stayed there to get his award. He didn't even, look, he's so bold, he's going to break the law in front of everybody because he Will Smith. Then he's not going to leave an embarrassment. Then he doesn't apologize to the person he slapped. Then he gives a speech, a long-ass speech, somehow shoehorning in that this is defense of people that you love. And y'all know damn well if this would have been the Baby or Kanye or boozy, little boozy. Somebody else that the left doesn't like, or I should say, someone else that the liberals don't like. There would have been a rapper that the liberals don't like, slapping Ricky Gervais in the face over a joke. I would like to see what you guys say there, because I've already seen people in my comment section, he's defending a black woman. Well, Chris Rock's black. Chris Rock is black too. He made a joke about a black woman that he knows and a black man that he knows. Everything, you can't make everything racial, but if you want to make it racial, let's flip it the other way. Do you think Will Smith would have slapped the shit out of Ricky Gervais? Would Will Smith have slapped the shit out of Jimmy Fallon, or Kimmel, or Conan O'Brien, or Stephen Colbert? I'm just asking. Since we want to say Chris Rock wouldn't have said that joke, now I think Chris Rock has said worse jokes. He's went there further than this. This is pedestrian. It wasn't even that funny because it really wasn't that harsh a joke. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's other comedians sitting home going, man, that was nothing, man. Woo, that's nothing loaded. What I would have said about the entanglement couple. That's the best you got. I know they was like, that's a soft-ass joke, man. I wouldn't even have used that one. That was lame. You should have went harder. That's what I'm pretty sure a lot of comedians think that. So I'm going to stop there. That's 3 points. Where's the responsibility? Why is it that Will gets to act with no responsibility? Number 2, what about the elitism? I think the reason why y'all applauded because it's Will Smith. If it had been Boozy, Lil Boozy, or DaBaby, or somebody else that you don't like in the liberal space, a rapper had smacked Ricky Gervais in the face, I don't think he would have been like, well, Ricky had it coming. That's what Ricky gets. That's what that white man gets. I don't think he would have done that. I don't think he would have done that. And last but not least, we will have smacked Ricky Gervais or some white guy for making a similar joke. I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have, Johnson. So, folks, I'm going to go. So we up live. What's up, Keith? Salute. My brother's up there. So I want to know what you guys think. Let's see. Let's get a caller up here. Then I'm going to take a couple of comments, man. I'm going to take a couple comments from the chat. I got someone who's been hanging out for a minute. Let me go to 414 and see what 414 has to say about this. 414, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
My name is Zakisha. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay. My comment is I do not condone what Will did at all. I do think it was wrong. Obviously, he lost his temper. Whether it's staged or not, we don't know. Whatever is going on in someone's life. I do think people need to also show a little bit of empathy and kindness because you never know what someone is going through in their life, and all it takes is a wrong word or a gesture to trigger somebody. I'm not condoning what he did. It was wrong to do on national TV, international TV, let's go be honest, international TV. So this is going to stick with Will Smith and Chris Rock forever. On another note, Chris Rock got slapped on international television. That's deep. And he is never going to be able to live that down. And it's always going to be a meme. The memes are already starting. But then on another note, I also hear, some black people talking about, why do they have to do this on TV in front of white people? And, this makes us look bad. Now, this is my opinion on the situation. I know this is not all white people, but it doesn't make a difference what we as black people do. It's always going to be perceived a certain way. Martin Luther King carried a Bible and wore a 3-piece suit, and it didn't stop them from assassinating him. So you're never going to assimilate and be good enough or have it in a positive light. But it's just sad that it went down like this, that, like I said, Will embarrassed himself. Jada, he didn't help her in the situation. I don't agree with him protecting black women because this is not doing anything to break down systemic issues that we have in our society that do disproportionately affect black women and how we're treated. But overall, it's just a bad look overall for Will. But I will tell people, people talking about, they disrespect him now and they can never do this. That also to me speaks of, with some people, racism, because, white people are to be forgiven for everything. We know what Mel Gibson did. Roman Polanski still has his Oscar, and he has actually been charged with pedophilia. Harvey Weinstein has 81 Oscars, and nobody asked for them back. But that was just mine. I think, we can condone what he did, but we also need to put in the context. You never know what people are going through, so you should be careful what you say to people. Love your show. Keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Thank you, sister, for the comment. Give it up for my sister calling up. Vakisha, man, I like this. I like that comment. I thought it was very thoughtful. And it's not about me agreeing with the comment, but I do agree with it because everybody got their own opinion. But I like the fact that she said, I know, I take note when she says, we got to be concerned about where people are at, what's going on in their lives, and I get that, right? But see, that's the thing. Will had an opportunity to say, hey, man, guys, I've been going through it with the tabloids. I acted out of, hey, Chris, hey, I didn't like the joke, but I took it too far. He could have done that. He doubled down. That's what I got a problem with. That's what I have a problem with. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyone can lose their cool, but to lose your cool and resort to violence and basically brag about it, that's not a good look. I'm going to go to the next call, but let me add something else. Vakisha, when you said there were some black folks who were very upset that Will Smith conducted himself this way, that it makes us look bad. I'm not hard on the respectability politics, but I will tell you this. When I saw this, my wife, Mrs. Black, when she was downstairs, and my oldest daughter is also staying here. She recently had a new baby. And I came out and I said, hey, guys, did you see Will Smith? Did you see it? And they said no. So I shared what I saw with both of them. I ran it down. You should have saw my wife's face. She was crushed. She was sad. She was saddened by it. Her feelings were visibly hurt. And I said, baby, are you okay? She said, it's so shameful that they did that. That Will acted that way. That's not how Will act. We don't need black. We don't need our brothers on the TV fighting in front of them. We don't need them doing that. It just hurts my heart, baby, that they would do that Will would do that. And she looked like she was about to cry, honestly. And, and it took me a minute to kind of get her point of view because I'm like, hey, this is not worth being sad about. This is not a reflection on us. But, everything's a reflection on us. That's how it works. So I understand. I personally don't feel that way. I feel like Will Smith is his own man. I'm more upset with the other people who acted like it was the right thing to do. When we know we don't want our young people, we don't want our kids. I have a 23-year-old, I have a 12-year-old son, and I don't want them resorting to violence, particularly over words. And the message just says, because some people think black women should be defended to the point. You know how many lives are lost by people defending their wives over words, or someone looked at a woman. And this is just a bad look all the way around. But I'm going to go to the next call. I thank you guys for hanging in there. Let's give it a shot. Let me go. Why is this not showing me the time? I'm going to try 626. 626, you're live. What's your comment? What's your name?
Johnson, how you do? This is DeCarlo from Lafayette.
What's up, brother?
I'm going to tell you, I'm well, brother. How are you? Good to hear you. Good to see you on all the time.
You know it.
And trust me, I'm going to be contributing. Right now, I'm unemployed. Once I get back in, I'm going to be contributing to your show because, like I said, you're out here and you're speaking the truth, and I appreciate that. I'm going to tell you, the thing with the Will Smith, what I see this is, with Will Smith, it's an in control, out of control situation for him. I mean, if you look back at his life he's had his money from being rapper, millionaire, screwed it all off. He was in control, but then lost it all. Then he gets into this relationship with Jada. He starts having kids, and then he gives his son their own house and his daughter their own house. So he's trying to show them independence, but at the same time, by giving them all independence, they started doing things like with the son, he gets a Louis Vuitton contract where he has to wear dresses as a child. You know, these are the kind of things where it's like, see, an adult is supposed to come in and go, look, all money ain't good money. You just need to think about this kind of thing instead of letting things happen. And then on top of that, then gets into this situation now. And again, like I said, I don't keep up on the gossip stuff. I just saw something about him coming out as, you know, being homosexual, which I have no problem with. But I'm just saying, I think that he feels a lot of out of control issues because of that. And we're not getting into the situation with Jada. I mean, again, she shows up at an award ceremony with one of Jaden's friends, hand on her posterior with, you know, Queen Latifah smiling, going, yeah, I know what's up. So, I mean, again, yeah, he's over here. He's a superstar. He's been nominated for Academy Awards. He's got all of these #1 hit movies. Yes, he kisses the finest women in all of Hollywood. But at the same time, in his home life, in reality, everything was out of control. So that's the big thing that I see with him. And what this is just the culmination of it, because plain and simple, it's like everybody knows now because it's actually been brought out on her show. Yeah, I was doing this, I was doing that, and there's nothing that you can say. You just got to take it. And it's hard for a man who's in this position and this kind of influence to just continue to primarily show that he's got control and at the same time show that he's out of control. That's what I wanted to say.
I appreciate you, DeCarlo. Give it up for my caller, DeCarlo, y'all. I appreciate that, man. Well said, brother. Well said. And, you know, and I appreciate you adding context to this because I'm going to be honest with you, brother. I don't know all this stuff about Will. You know, I didn't know he bought his kids their own houses. So that gives a little bit more texture to it. And I'm not saying just because you're a rich man and very successful in your business that you don't have personal problems. I get that, man. That's why I'm saying, like, even people make mistakes. It's the defiance. It's defiantly making a mistake. Doubling down on the mistake is what I felt, brother, from Will. And then people co-signing it, man. Like, I'm on my own timeline, and I got people coming out defending obvious assault. Chris Rock had it coming. Nah, the guy who shot Nipsey Hussle had it coming. The mofos that shot Young Dolph had it coming. Nah, man. A guy who says a joke, a comedian who makes a joke from stage doesn't have it coming, Johnson. No, y'all tripping. Y'all tripping, okay? Nah. That's called someone being unhinged. Do I think Will Smith should be canceled? No. But also, let me add this before I go to the next call. To the person that said, because the cops, according to what I heard, okay, according to what was posted, the LAPD asked Chris Rock, did he want to press charges? And Chris Rock refused to press charges. Someone said that means Chris knows what he did was wrong. He knows what he did was wrong. No, that means Chris is not petty. Maybe that's what that means. Maybe it means Chris Rock is not going to be petty and involve the legal system with Will Smith. That doesn't mean he thinks with Will that he should be slapped in the face for a joke. Actually, he's giving Will a pass because I got a feeling if Chris Rock was doing a show at the Comedy Cellar and somebody in the audience came up and slapped him, Chris Rock would press charges. So Will Smith is getting privilege here. It ain't black privilege, it's Hollywood privilege. That's what that is. It's the magic of Hollywood. Because if you slap Chris Rock, if you can get close enough, all hell would break loose. Your ass would be sitting in jail. Your mama would be begging, please don't prosecute my son. My son just lost his cool. He's had a hard time. He's out of work. He don't have health care. His dog just died. His wife left him. His shoes don't fit. Come on now, please, please. That's what would have happened. So, so I thank you to caller for the phone call. Let's check out the comment section. I got a person in the comment section. I got Bobby Evans and Keith Weston so far. Thank you for supporting the show, guys. I appreciate you. If you like what you hear, guys, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. We cover pop topics from time to time, but our focus is black issues, and that's what this is. Now, this is a black issue. And a lot of people are making this a black issue because they're saying Will Smith never would have done this, or Chris Rock never would have said a joke about a white person. Yo. That's some bullshit, guys, because we all know. Have you seen Chris Rock's latest stand-up? 90% of his jokes, if they involve people, they involve white people. So please, guys, I know we want to make it racial. Let's keep it a buck, okay? Chris Rock is not afraid to make jokes about white people. He makes jokes about black people. He makes jokes about white people, too. He makes way more jokes about white people, so please, cut the shit. Just say you like Will. It's okay. I like Will, too. I like Will Smith. I thought he deserved the Oscar. He won the Oscar tonight. And I'm happy he won the Oscar. But this is different. This is separate. This is a guy who needs therapy. If Kanye West couldn't go to the Grammys because he made a video with animation about Pete Davidson, and people going, good, Kanye can't go to the Grammys. He's unhinged. Kanye ain't lay hands on nobody. Will Smith lays hands on Chris Rock over a joke, doubles down on it, doesn't leave, stays and picks up his Oscar, gets dapped up by Samuel L. Jackson, who gives him the award. My brother gets dapped up by Denzel Washington as well, and it's probably at an after party right now. Like nothing happened. And I'm saying that's elitist stuff. That's what happens when you're rich. I'm going to go to the next call. Give my I think I got a 205 number in the queue. I do. 205, you are live. What's your name? What's your comment?
How you doing? This is Mark from Birmingham, Alabama.
What's up, family? What's on your mind, brother?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. I'm going to say this. It's the equivalent to somebody stepping on your shoe at the club and he apologized and you still want to kill him. It's the same equivalent. This man's at work. He's doing his job. Now, I heard the joke. The girl do look like G.I. Jane. I'm sorry. That's just what it is. But you don't have no right to put your hands on this man. This man just got slapped in front of millions and millions and millions of people. Now, if he wants to prosecute him, he got every right to do that. But I guess he's saying he's a bigger person. He don't want to get into all that. He don't want to add fuel to the fire or whatever's going on in his house. Now, with Will Smith, if you would have felt this way, that guy that just told your wife, your wife just told you in front of your face that she just slept with another man. Call it entanglement. You didn't put your hands on that man. You're putting your hands on the wrong person. You see what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it. If you would have felt that bad, you would have handled that deep. You see what I'm saying? That's how I feel. Hello?
This brother K. Real Johnson, this brother was on the money with this. And that's one thing, man. No one's talking about Chris Rock. Thank you, brother, for calling up from Birmingham, man. He said, no one's talking about Chris Rock. Chris Rock just got humiliated in front of the entire globe. In fact, the first clip I saw that had the volume up so you could hear it, was from Japan. That's the clip I saw. The original clip that I have saved is from Japan because they're talking about it in Japan right now. So Chris Rock got slapped in front of the entire globe for doing his damn job. What about the fact that a black man slapped another black man in front of the whole world? That's what made my wife sad. That's what made her ashamed of these two brothers. But of Will Smith for doing this. They know each other. Will could have waited and talked to him. They could have had a sit down. Whatever. What about brothers disrespecting brothers in front of the world, man? What about that? So everyone wants to say the black woman needs to be defended. And I agree they do, but not from jokes, from friends, people you know. They know each other. Now, is it possible they have some bad blood? Once again, guys, on the level of jokes that Chris Rock makes on a routine basis, this is one of his lighter jokes. I'm sorry, y'all. This is not going for the juggler, trying to hurt your damn feelings joke. This ain't one of the jokes that see you in the house crying. And what my brother say from Birmingham? He said, this reminds me of a brother wanting to shoot another brother for stepping on his shoe after he apologized. That's the sad part about it, bro. That's the sad part about it, man. I appreciate you, fam. Let me try 662. 662, you live. What's your name? What's your comment? You live, 662.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing, fam?
Yeah, man. Hey, Sam, man. Appreciate you inviting me to the show, man.
No doubt.
I got mixed views about it, man. I looked at it like this, man. This not Chris Rock's first time doing the analog at the Oscars and cracking a joke on Jada. I think that's like his second time doing it. The first time, he did it about the time that I think they was boycotting the Oscars, and he made a joke about, hey, why is Jada boycotting? She wasn't invited in the first place. So it started kind of from that time that I think, sparked a little animosity between Will and Chris. But, I'm disappointed in Will about what he did. Man, Chris Rock, like my top 3 favorite comedians of all time, man. I love that guy, man. So to see him hit Chris Rock, it was disappointing, man. But, and I think one of the words I use is one of Chris Rock's, one of his favorite quotes he used on the O.J. Simpson thing. I'm not saying it's right, but I understand.
Oh, man. You ended that perfectly, fam. You ended that perfectly, yo. That right there, that is you on point. You on point, bro. Damn, I got some great callers, man. You call back into the show, man, anytime, fam. Yeah, I like that, man. And look. Way to bring up more context. I forgot about that other comment that Chris Rock made. So, but picture this though, guys. Picture this. I got something for that. So what you're trying to tell me is it's very possible that Will Smith knew Chris might have some shit to say tonight. That it's very possible he knew Chris would have something to say, and maybe this wasn't as spur of the moment as people think it is. Maybe Will Smith is getting dressed thinking, oh man, okay, I wish Chris, well, I can't do a Will Smith impression. Oh god damn, I can't do him. But I wish Chris say something smart tonight. Come on, Jada. Them say something smart tonight. Them say something smart tonight, boy. I'ma slap the shit out. Woo! When I get to the Oscars, if I win and even if I don't win, if he got something to say, woo, I'm gonna have something to do. So what you're telling me is possible that Will Smith was out back limbering up, getting ready, like getting his palms ready. Like maybe he came to the Oscars with the premeditated thought that if Chris Rock had some smart stuff to say, some sideways shit out his mouth, that he was going to do something about it tonight. Then maybe he said, okay, I wanted to get him the last time. I got to get him this time. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's what happened, fam. This ain't TV. This is live. I got another 662 number in the house. 662, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim, this is Aaron. How you doing, man?
What's up, fam?
Hey, first of all, I'm gonna say when you see this tomorrow, the first thing that's gonna happen, the conservatives is gonna be like, "Hey, look at this. See what I tell y'all about this black on black crime. Now these two rich people, going at it. You know what I'm saying? Going at it in front of millions of people, and that's the first thing they're gonna say. Look at this black on black crime." But I'm gonna say this about the other call that called in just that last call. Yeah, I seen that where he had talked about Jada. But you know what I'm saying, Will Smith really ain't that guy. He never been that guy. You know what I'm saying? Get jiggy with it. That's what I used to listen to. You know what I'm saying? He was never that type of rapping guy that, you know what I'm saying, that was thugged out and stuff like this. This come from months and months of Jada going on her YouTube channel, disrespecting him, talking about him. So I feel like he felt like he had to be a man and step up and say something and defend his manhood with he didn't have to. And second of all, this ain't the first time he got this in front of everybody, because Eminem rapped about him, did a whole song about him, and said, F you, F your music, and F you too, in front of your wife, and you didn't get up and slap Eminem. When he was on stage saying it in front of your wife, you didn't slap him. So, you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that, you know what I'm saying, it was targeted. You know what I'm saying? They're going to say this black on black. And I think it's targeted towards comedians, because that was a roast. So now you attack every person that, you know what I'm saying, that comedian that does roast now. What we saying about comedians now? Because the joke was over. He had left his wife alone, the joke was over, and he was moving on to the next thing, and then he went up there and slapped him. So that was, you know what I'm saying, that put him in a bad light. First of all, they're going to say he can't take a joke. And you're going to have some people saying, oh, he's taking up for his wife. But really, if he was taking up for his wife and looking out for his family, he wouldn't do nothing that would jeopardize his family's, you know what I'm saying, income, because he did buy his kids houses and stuff like that. You put all that in jeopardy. You put that whole thing in jeopardy. How you think the Oscars going to feel about you next year? Or how you think that the Oscars going to be treated next year? Because if it was up to Chris, if I was Chris, I would sue the Oscars anyway, because you're supposed to have security watching it. Nobody shouldn't just be stepping on stage unless they're invited to come onto that stage. So you put him in danger, and he was assaulted. And if he was here, even if they let you know his privilege, because even if Chris didn't want to press charges, if that had been me and I slapped somebody in front of all those people, even if I didn't want to even if I got slapped, even if I didn't want to press charges, they'll press charges anyway. Or if it was vice versa and I slap somebody and that other person didn't want to press charges, the AG will pick it up.
Yep.
And they'll press charges anyway.
Good point.
So, you know what I'm saying? That just shows you the rank and the privilege of Chris Rock and Will Smith, and they trying to victimize Chris for being a comedian. He's a comedian. That's what happened. When you're a comedian and you sitting right in front of the comedian, yeah, he might say something to you. But you know what I'm saying? You supposed to be the man enough to know that, you know what I'm saying, yeah, he's a comedian, let it go. You let it go when you just shook. I watched it at the MTV Awards when Eminem said F you, and you didn't do nothing. You just sat there and smiled and nod your head, and he kept on rapping. You didn't get up there and slap him. So that's all I got to say.
Well, I appreciate it, fam. Give it up for my caller, Avery, y'all. Good points. Good points. Once again, to add more context, I forgot about the Eminem situation. Damn, brother. Why we do each other like this, man? Now, see, this opens up a Pandora's box. You think Chris Rock is the only comedian that people got pissed off at? You don't think other people haven't been pissed off in comments that a comedian's made on stage during one of these award shows? But the only one in history, I'm sorry, excuse me, guys, in the history of the Oscars, the only time in the history of the Oscars that it got physical was with two of our brothers, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's a shame. And see, here's the thing. It plays right in, like Avery said, y'all. It plays right into the hands of the conservative people, the folks on Fox News and other networks as well. See? Look at them being violent. Now, as one of my callers said, my first caller, Vakisha, said, there are people going to label us that anyway. But we got to have some grace, man. We got to have some grace. We can't let ourselves go out of character. Even if you say that Chris Rock was wrong, if you take it personal because you have alopecia too, or your sister got, or your wife got alopecia, or whatever, or maybe like this. I don't know if you guys saw this. Here we go. Someone sent me this. It was a tweet from Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley. Look what she says. She says, hashtag alopecia. Nation stand up. This is an alopecia nation, y'all. Thank you. Hashtag Will Smith. Shout out to all the husbands who defend their wives living with alopecia in the face of daily ignorance and insults. Hashtag Oscars. Women with baldies are for real men only. Boys need not apply. Now, according to the person who posted this, who I got it from on my timeline, she deleted this tweet. So this person retweeted it. Now here's the thing, guys. And Ayanna Pressley is a congresswoman from Massachusetts. This is not a good look, Ayanna Pressley, Mrs. Pressley. Come on now, that's why you deleted it. This is not a good look. You can't co-sign violence. We can't make this, man. I'm glad now I make jokes from time to time. I've done some touring where I told some jokes. I know how to set up a punchline. I know how to do toppers and stuff. I know some lingo about comedy, but I'm not. I don't pretend that I'm a full-fledged comedian. But here's this, guys. Check this out. I'm glad I'm not, because you can't make jokes about gender, orientation, race, weight, depression. Now you can't even make jokes about hair. There is nothing you can joke about. The only jokes you can do are jokes about the weather. And that might insult some people with arthritis. When they get cold, my bones hurt. You making jokes about cold weather. I'm offended. You making jokes about sun. I get sunburned. I'm offended. So we're just so damn soft. Can't do nothing. And even if my call is correct and it's true that Will Smith is going through all these things because of Jada's mouth, that ain't got nothing to do with Chris Rock. Whatever you're going through in your personal life, so that means the comedian's got to go around the room and check with everybody. Hey, man, You and your relationship okay with your lady? Y'all good? Okay, because I might make some jokes. Make sure y'all good. What about you? You okay? I want to talk about your shoes, but you know, is that okay? You got shoes at home, right? Nothing wrong with you. You know, you okay? You look a little crazy. Are you okay if I talk about your hands too big? You ain't got no like immune deficiency or nothing because I wouldn't want to offend you. This is what we come to, y'all. We're going to have to start signing waivers for people to be able to make jokes. Forget taking people's phones. Man, I remember D.L. Hughley and Mike Epps, they would just go through the crowd. Bernie Mac used to do it too. Go through the crowd. Oh man, look at you, brother. How big you gonna get? That was a D.L. Hughley joke. Damn, man, how big you gonna get, man? Point at somebody else. Damn, dog, when you get out of jail? You can't even do that no more. I'm offended. I really did go to jail. I didn't know. You should have thought about that before you said it. I'm gonna kill you. All right, man. I'm gonna try another call. I got another call up here, man. This is bad. Let me go my 301 number hanging in there with me. 301, what's up? Talk to me. 301.
Hey, what's going on, Tim?
What's up, babe?
Not much, man. So I've been watching you a long time, Tim. I'm a big fan. I'm really glad you cover progressive issues, but unfortunately, Tim, I have to disagree with you on this one. You know, in general, you know that, you know, words matter, right? Even when you talk about people who deal with abuse, someone smack you on the street, your mom smack you, your friend smack you, you can take a smack, you can take a punch. But when your friend or your mom says you ain't worth nothing.
It's not against the law to smack people on the street, brother. It's not against the law to smack people on the street.
I understand that, but I'm saying words matter, right? So if I'm saying if you with a spouse and your spouse says you ain't worth nothing, you ain't gonna be nothing, then that matters, right? So I'm saying that from a perspective that if a woman sees beauty in her hair, right, and a person, and this is a Hollywood thing, right? You're not in Hollywood, but if you read what Hollywood people go through, the idea that a person is consistently talked about, right, and this woman has a medical immune disorder, and the joke is that, okay, we'll smack in front of millions of people, you get your wife talked about in front of millions of people, not condoning the violence, but the idea that someone would take verbal abuse, I mean, I understand. Now, not condoning the violence, but the idea that, and in your point, listen, you just made an argument that you can't take a joke, right? I've seen people make jokes about the environment. You joking about you want to change the environment. There's nothing wrong with gas. And what's wrong with a gas car? These progressives, you want to run for electric? You run for elections? No one votes for Bernie Sanders. I don't find that joke funny. So I work with a gentleman now. He thinks black jokes are funny. He thinks jokes about, you know what I mean? So the idea that the joke is always funny when it's not about you. You know what I'm saying? So the idea that people are soft, the joke's always funny when it's not directed towards you. So I personally don't think it's funny. People who are fat and make a fat joke, it hurts. If you black and make a black joke, people, there was just an article in the South. They had the kid, they did a mock slave auction in class. They thought it was funny. Is it funny to you? It's not funny to me. So the joke's always funny when you're not the one joked about. So I understand your point, but I don't think it's funny.
All right, brother. I appreciate your phone call. I disagree with you, but you know, hey, I disagree with him. I disagree with you. Big time, brother. You don't have to, that's the thing. No one said you have to find the joke funny, y'all. No one says you have to find the joke funny. You can't lay hands on people because you think the joke's not funny. This is not about what your comedy, what your sense of humor is. There's a difference between a racial slur and a joke about your hair, Johnson. You compare apples to oranges and apples to coconuts. You comparing oranges to ribeye steaks. Like these things have no relationship. It's not about is the joke funny. The thing is, you don't put your hands on a mofo because you don't like the joke. That's all. And don't give me the rich actors go through so much. Nah, dog, we go through so much. Poor people go through shit. I don't want to hear it. You mean, so I could be rich? All I gotta do is be willing to take someone making a joke about my wife's hair at a award show where I'm about to pick up the Oscar? And all I gotta do is have thick enough skin where I can take that joke and not put my hands on him. I ain't gotta clap for him. I ain't gotta invite him to my cookout. We ain't gotta be friends. All I gotta do is not put my hands on him because that's how Negroes go to jail. Also, keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. The next time, what happens when one of these comedians is making a joke about a white guy? You gonna feel the same way? One of our black comedians making jokes about white people on stage, and the white guy gets up and socks him in the jaw, Johnson. Is that gonna be okay with you? You gonna be the same way? Or is it just because it's Will? See, I think it's because it's Will, and it's Jada. I don't think you do this if that was Rob Schneider in the audience who got pissed off. I don't think you do that if this was Charlie Sheen in the audience. I don't think you do this if it was Adam Sandler in the audience who got a little touchy about something a comedian said in an award show and went up and slapped that black comedian. If that was Jamie Foxx making a joke. Hey, man, Shucky Ducky. If somebody go hear Chris Rock, it should have been Shucky Ducky. Come on, y'all. Come on now. If someone's going to hit a comedian, I got two comedians and shit. Look, Chris Rock, if he's going to get punched, it should be by Shucky Ducky, who needs some jokey wokies, and Doug Williams with Jamie Foxx. Now, that's different. And they didn't hit him. And you know Doug Williams wanted to hit Jamie Foxx. It's your conscience talking. It's your conscience talking. Do you have any jokes for Shaq now? I just did another joke that didn't go over. I'm your conscience. You remember that? And so does Doug Williams. But they did not punch the comedian, Johnson. Okay, I'm going to tell you this. There's some comedians out there that if you slap them, you're going to get your ass kicked. I don't think you're going to go up to Godfrey. Godfrey be in the gym. Godfrey stays in the gym, okay? He's not 5'4" like Chris Rock or 5'5", 5'6", 5'7", and 100 pounds soaking wet. Godfrey's like 5'11", 230. Right? Big dude. I don't think Will walks up to just anybody and slaps him like he did, like he up in Europe or something. I think he wouldn't have done that. Look at his slap. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Get folded up like a lawn chair. You about to get folded up like new money. All right, I'm going to go to the next call, y'all. Hey, look, man, I disagree with you, but I appreciate the phone call. I was wondering if anybody agreed with Will. At least we found one person that did. All right. Goodness gracious, where's the whole times? I don't know who came and got so many calls in the queue, Johnson. I'm going to go with, let's go to 321. Hey, 321, you are live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, what's going on, man? My name is Kenderson. How you doing?
What's up, Kenderson? What's happening, brother?
Ain't not much, man. I just wanted to say two things. My first thing is to Chris Rock, man. I think Chris Rock, even though it was funny, that he got snapped or whatever, the act was funny, but the situation overall was not funny. But I do want to give it to Chris Rock, man, for him keeping it cool, keeping his composure as much as he can, especially at that moment, at that time, to still keep the show going. So I think that was amazing at that moment for him to hold his composure like that. And number two, man, as far as like Will Smith, man, with Will Smith, what he did, man, that right there, that comes from when you with a woman and you have never really put your 2 feet down with your 10 toes down on her and letting her know how it is and what it will be and what it ain't going to be. That's what happens when your woman is all out of line and you've never sat down and talked to her and let her know how you want things to go. You know what I'm saying? After all these years, and then when something like this happens, then that's when you want to snap and take it out on other people, when the source of your problems and the source of your issues is sleeping in the same bed with you every night. And that's my view, that's my opinion on that.
Give it up for my caller, y'all. Interesting, man. Interesting. I don't want to sound chauvinistic. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sound like I'm like saying you got to put your woman in her place. But if you got relationship issues, you need to deal with that as a couple. And say, you know, that's on them, however they handle it. Obviously, there's probably some stuff going on with the relationship. Because what Chris Rock said, I don't think warranted this. And then the way Will was crying when he received his award, made me feel like there was a little bit more to this. Someone said, Tim, maybe this is just a straw that broke the camel's back. It was just one more thing that pushed the brother over the edge. I get that. Once again, he should have just apologized. He apologized to everybody but Chris, which is a double slap in the face, another slap in the face. You gonna slap me in the face and you gonna apologize to all the white people in the audience? Come on, man. I'm the one you slapped. I'm the one that deserves an apology. You need to apologize to me. Start with me. The face you slapped. Start here. Instead, he apologized to everybody else, all crying, bringing up King Richard, Serena's daddy. Serena's daddy didn't make you do this. And if this is what happens after you play a role, you can't shake the role off, and remember you Will Smith, then maybe you don't need to play these types of roles. And also, it's important to know, guys, that before, when Chris Rock made this joke, I'm going to go to phone calls. Let me say this, though. When Chris Rock made the joke, initially, Will was laughing. Initially, Will was laughing. I saw him. Look at the tape. I would play it. But they will probably block my video because the Oscars don't let you play their clips. But folks, what I'm telling you is Will Smith was laughing at first, and Jada's face was like, she looked very offended. Then Will got up. Okay? So let's be clear here. Does that mean he needs to, talk to his wife and do all this stuff? I don't know. I don't want to go too far into their relationship about what they need to do because that ain't my place. Speaking as someone who's married, don't nobody know what goes on between me and my wife but us. Their business is everywhere. We know that. And it ain't because somebody snuck in their house. You know what I'm saying? It ain't because we've all been eavesdropping. It's because it's been out there. That ain't the world's fault that they know stuff about their relationship. But I'm going to go to the next call. I'm going to try 667. 667, did you get an opportunity to speak yet?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, man? I just think that I can't see a man who calls himself the vessel of love go and hit another guy just like that, especially in the office.
Vessel of love. Yeah, he did say that at the award when he received his Oscar.
He did, and he apologized. He apologized to everyone when he got the award, except for Chris Rock. Which, he had time. It wasn't an impulse reaction. He had time to sit down, calm down, but he still saw his decision as right.
That's true. Give it up for the caller. He's got a point. That's true. That's true, Johnson. And that's what I'm saying. That's the part. Like I said, that part bothers me because it's if you're acting out of character. Maybe he's not acting out of character. Maybe some of the things people have been saying. Now, if I know if it was me, poor ass Tim Black, not with an Oscar, who didn't do a show, do multiple shows, super successful. At one time, the most paid, wellest paid male actor in the world, right up there with Tom Cruise. If I slapped the hell out of a man for a comment, it wouldn't take much for people to assume that I'm doing that type of thing at home. It wouldn't take that long before people assume that I'm a violent person. Maybe there's more to it. Maybe that's why they have problems at home. Who knows? But if you act out of character and you get violent, if that's not your normal, if that is foreign to you, you seem awfully relaxed about it. Like, at least about the violence part. Or is he saying that I'm not, Chris Rock made me smack him? See, that's I just, and both of these guys are over 50 years old. So we're grown-ass men fighting on TV, Johnson. I'm just stunned that people thought it was okay. That's what bothers me. That's what bothers me. The people were not only, we have a congressperson thanking Will for smacking him. Now, Will could have got up, walked up, and said, hey, look, bro, and spoke to him. That would have been over the top and embarrassing as well. But to smack him, that's too far. That's too far.
Hello?
636, you're live. What's your
Hello?
name? Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Tim Black, man? You're awesome. I love your show, man. I've been following you for a very, very long time.
Hey, thank you, fam. Appreciate it.
Basically, I could just start out by saying I'm an entertainer, I'm a musician and stuff like that, and I'm very, very familiar with comedy. And a long time ago, and I'll just say this right now, I'm a white boy, but I was, born and raised from where Richard Pryor is from and stuff like that, and I knew from a young age about this comedian by the name of Paul Mooney. I don't know if you know who Paul Mooney is, but I found out he was coming to town one time, and I was like, I got my girlfriend. I'm like, we're going to go see Paul Mooney. And so, me being a white boy, her being a white girl, whatever, we didn't even think about it. We go to the show, we're sitting down in the middle of the theater, and we're just surrounded by black people. And Paul Mooney comes out on stage, he sits down, and the first thing he does is start roasting my ass and roasting my girlfriend's ass hard. I mean, he was saying everything he could think of, just the most diabolical, just the most edgiest shit you've ever heard. Now, I didn't stand up and get all pissed off and walk up. You know what we did? We laughed. We all laughed because it's comedy. That's the point. I want it. It was the biggest honor to have Paul Mooney just tear me and my girlfriend apart. And Will Smith knows better. He knows comedy. He knows comedian. He knows this. And despite knowing this, he was overcome with anger and rage, and he walks up on the stage and violence right in Chris Rock's face. And it's like, oh my God, he needs help. He needs serious psychological help. And the people in the room, I mean, where was security? And then they applaud him after, like nothing happened. And I got to give it up to Chris Rock. He is a legend. And he's such a professional too. At first, when I saw it, I thought, no, this has got to be fake. This can't be real. He's just playing. And then I realized, I was like, oh my, this is real. And, it was like, it's surreal. Like, can you actually believe that he did that? And yeah, he did. He did do that. And, it's very, and I know why you're disturbed, Tim, because you're hearing this chatter online. You're hearing people online defending what Will did and coming up with all these excuses for it. There is no excuse. The Oscars should ban him. They should ban him. They should punish it. And I got to give it for Chris too. He's not pressing charges. And, I respect that, but to a certain extent, you almost kind of want him to press charges. Because the thing is any normal person, if I would have walked up on stage that night and pulled Paul Mooney and do you have any idea what would have happened? And you know what? Rightfully so. In fact, I was just looking at Pauly Shore's feed not too long ago. And Pauly Shore was on stage a long time ago, and he got assaulted. This is something that comedians have had to deal with for years. And I'm a musician, but I know a lot of comedians. And it is a real fear. When you're up there on stage and you got the lights pounding down on you, and you could see the look on Chris Rock's face when he saw Will Smith come up, he was smiling. He was like, hey, because that he's thinking, oh, he's gonna play along with the joke, maybe he's gonna pretend to shake me or something, and that would have been funny. And that's why he was obviously as shocked as he was when it happened. And you got to get Will Smith is I think he's 6'2", and Chris Rock is 5'10" or something, and he just took it like it was nothing. He kept on smiling, and he's like, well, we're gonna roll on to the next sport for documentary film. I mean, he had to walk backstage afterwards, just rubbing his head did that really just happen? Did that really? Yeah, and it did, man. It actually happened. But I got to give you credit, Tim, man, because you're speaking truth. You're telling it like it is. You're calling balls and strikes the way that they are. And I got to give you all the credit in the world, man. I've been watching you for a long time, and I agree with a lot of the stuff you say. And I'm just thrilled to be on the show with you, man. I want to stay on forever and stuff like that. You haven't even said anything. You're just sitting here listening to me, man. But thank you very much. And I know if you want to keep on talking or whatever, but I'll let you go if that's all you want from me, man.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I appreciate you, man. Give it up for my caller, man. That's dope. I appreciate your perspective on this, brother. Being an entertainer, bringing that to the table, performing yourself, and knowing a lot of comedians, and I appreciate you sharing the Paul Mooney story, brother. That's gold right there, man. And we're big Paul Mooney fans on this channel. In fact, if you become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack, I got my own little emojis. One of my emojis is Paul Mooney. Oh, come on, Black. Come on, Tim Black. Come on, Tim Black. Keep it real, Tim Black. Yeah, I said something about that white guy. He came to my show, had his white woman on his arm. And I told him, slavery's over. Take you and your concubine back upstairs. You and Sarah. I told him it was over. Won't be no whipping here. Come on, Tim Black, come on. Keep it real, Tim Black. I'm in heaven looking at this shit. I say, I wish Will Smith would have brought his ass up and tried to hit me in the face. I'd have told that bad boy, I'd have beat that bad boy's ass. Tim Black, I'd have whipped that bad boy's ass. Whipped his ass. I'd have kicked his ass all the way back to Bel Air. You think he got the complexion for the protection from the collection? I'd have sent his ass right back to Bel Air. It was 7 degrees. He'd have got 7 months in jail. Fucking with me. He would have got 7 years in jail. 7 degrees. And he would have been paying me 7 figures. That's what he would have done. 7 figures. Tim Black. I don't play that shit. Chris Rock's a better man than I am. We would have been up here. I would have been down there. I'm waiting for him. I'm going to roast his ass when he gets here. I'm going to talk about her. I'm going to talk about her here. She don't make movies anyway. Why is she out here? Why is she still in the limelight if she's not performing? You're out of the business. Get out of the business. You're in everybody's business, telling all your business. You're not even in the business. I'm trying to figure it out, Tim Black. Why is Jada Pinkett Smith still in the business? She's in everyone's business and always sharing her business, her relationship business, her private business. And when someone talks about her business, she wants to give them the business. Doesn't make sense, Tim Black. All right, I gotta go. Have your show back, Tim Black. Have your show back. But I appreciate you, man. I'm just saying, this was another point I made. Terry Crews, about 2 years ago, told a story about being at a party where some industry Hollywood exec type agent or something grabs him by the privates. Remember that? What did Terry Crews do? Nothing. He told on him. That's all he did. All he did was tell on him. So Terry Crews, I don't know. People said Terry Crews should have punched the guy. But that's because a guy put his hands on he assaulted him. So look, listen to what I'm saying, guys. Terry Crews was sexually assaulted and did not react. He did not act violently to that sexual assault. He would have been perfectly within his grounds to do so. Because he was assaulted, right? Will Smith can't take a joke without acting violently. Come on now. Like, don't be a hypocrite all your damn life. That's all I'm saying. Don't be a hypocrite all your damn life. These people say defend black women. Yeah, defend black women. That's fine. But this is not something, you don't defend them from a comedian. Well, I'm tired of these comedians making jokes about women. As if they don't make jokes about guys. Come on. We got to have some way to make a joke. And this guy, you can't react. Like I said, you don't have to like the joke. Could have been like, that was a weak joke. That was a tasteless joke. I didn't think that was funny. Fine. That doesn't mean you get to kick his ass and then clap for him getting punched. We all know if that would have been a rapper that you guys didn't like, if that was Lil Boosie or The Baby or Kanye or 50 Cent, name a rapper that you don't like on the liberals, that the liberals don't like, everybody would have been calling for their career to be over. Everybody would have been boycotting them. You gotta been boycott 50 Cent. Boycott 50 Cent. But since it's Will Smith, and you really like Will, you're making excuses. And I'm not saying boycott Will Smith. What I'm saying is stop being hypocrites. And just admit that it's okay if you like the guy, you let him get away with it. If you like the person, you look the other way. Just admit it. Keep it real. Keep it real, because that's what this is. We don't want our children punching people in the face or slapping people in the face for words. We don't want them doing that. This is not hate speech. This is not a hate crime to say somebody should star in G.I. Jane 2. That's not a hate crime. People are making this the level of this is a hate crime. This is not a Karen calling the cops. This is a comedian at a comedian show making a joke about another comedian or actor. One actor to another actor at a comedy show. Come on, Johnson. All right, I'm going to go next call. Hey, man, hypocrisy is real out this joint, ain't it? And he said Pauly Shore got beat up, got assaulted, huh? Let's go to 619. 619, you're live. What's your name?
Yes, hi.
Hey, how you doing?
I really appreciate this show. My name is Sonia. And so one of the comments I wanted to say is that I also think that this is rich privilege, right? So, and what I mean by that is that if this was like a D-list celebrity or C-list celebrity, I don't believe that, I think there would be more outrage. Matter of fact, I think the police could be, at the Oscars ready to arrest Will Smith because he did commit an assault. So I think we're seeing where the wealthy privilege is at hand, because at certain levels, it kind of doesn't matter, what race you are, right? When you reach certain social economic status, as well as in an entertainment field. I'm very disappointed in this action. I, agree with a lot that I've heard from you, as well as some of the other callers. At the end of the day, it was an assault. I hope that, Chris Rock would reconsider in pressing charges because he was assaulted, point blank. And Will Smith showed no remorse. So again, if we see this played out on another level of celebrity that went up, slapped a person, and showed absolutely no remorse when they had the mic with an opportunity to show some form of remorse of they violated another person's rights. You know, they assaulted another person. So even when Kanye took the award from, what's her name again?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. You know, we were outraged, right? This the fact that he kind of interrupted her moment to shine. But here, Will Smith literally, you know, again, we know this is comedy, you know? And so I saw Jada's expression. She was T.O. And I mean, I understand being upset and I understand, you know, defending your woman, your wife, but there's a time and a place to do that as well. So again, if there was any other level of celebrityness or richness that actually is the exact same assault, it would be a totally different vibe right now. You know, like I said, I mean, I believe that the police would be at the Oscars, handcuffing and, you know, charging the offender, and rightfully so. So I am like extremely disappointed. I'm really, really shocked, and I'm disappointed because there is an expectation of how you should act and how you should perform. I'm all for him standing up for his wife. I'm all for him defending, but the way he did it was, again, it was against, he broke the law at the end of the day. So that's what I wanted to say.
Give it up for my caller on point like that. I appreciate that. Thank you for weighing in, sister. I appreciate that big time because we haven't had a lot of women call up, and it's important that women tell me what they think about this. They tell us all what you think about this because, you know, would you want your husband to stand up for you? Is this the way you would want him to stand up? You know, put yourself in the position, in Jada's position. How would you feel about it? Did this go too far? She looked to be okay with what he did. She looked to be okay with it. I mean, it appeared so. And I agree with you 100%, sister, that if there was someone else, if it was a B-list celebrity or someone not as famous as Will Smith, who put their hands on an A-list celebrity like Chris Rock, jail. I remember when there was a performance and there was a little Mo got on the stage with Beyonce, or was it Alicia Keys and Jay-Z? And it was like, who the hell? And she didn't touch anybody. She just got on stage. It was like, who the hell? Here, I'm going to put it this way. I saw a film where a person in the audience got on the stage with a guitar, with a performer. I think his name was, he was like a funk banging black dude, fat back of Bubble Burger or something. I forget his name. I could see him. He was a black guy with a bush. He had a bush. Black guy. And he played the guitar and he performed at a lot of white colleges. And this was like 4 or 5 years ago. And anybody know what I'm talking about, guys? Anybody remember this? It was a black performer. He was performing, and then people got on stage. Nah, not Rick James. Bubble Burger. I forget the guy's name, but anyway. And a woman, this drunk Afro man. Give it up for that. Give it up for him. Lord Footage. Lord Footage did it. Give it up for Lord Footage, y'all. Afro man, he punches this woman who gets up on the stage and touches him, knocks her cold out. And then her boyfriend gets up on stage and gets her off the stage. And technically he was within his rights and his lefts. Because you don't touch a performer because you paid to get in the show doesn't mean you get to touch the performer. So what I'm saying is, Chris Rock would have been within his rights to defend himself if he wanted to. Good thing Chris Rock wasn't packing. You might have shot well. Now, let me stop. That's not funny. But what I'm saying is Will Smith, assaulted Chris Rock. LA's not a stand your ground state, so if it would have been there, it would have been in the stand your ground state. If you say, oh, no, Tim, you're going too crazy, what I'm saying is assault is assault. He's not supposed to be on the stage. This is a legal matter. All right, I'm going to go to the next call. Y'all stop making excuses. I'm glad my caller called in. I got an 847 number in the queue. 847, how you doing? You're live.
Hey there, Tim. Bobby P in the place to be. Got from the shot. Put 'em up, algorithm. The champ is here. Floating like a butterfly, stinging like a Will Smith slap. You know, I like Will Smith, man. Ever since I was a kid, we had a game in my childhood. It went scissors beats paper and Smith beats rock, right? So, you know, I was wondering if this was a marketing angle. I remember Tim, you talking about that. You always put that in my mind, you know, this is just a play thing. But then, you know, I put it on ultra slow motion. And, man, Chris's after reaction, I don't think it was staged because, man, the sound of the contact first off, poof, a little puffing and whatnot. And, you know, he seemed real flustered afterward. He was trying to get himself together. Like, he seemed really shocked. Like, I don't know what to do right here. You know, I just got on with the show. You know, I got all these cameras. Like, I got this obligation. And he could barely get his words together, but he tried. And, you know, you got to give it up for a guy like that, you know. And he played it really cool. But, like, Will Smith, man, how about awful example. And, like, a representative of someone who sports himself as an icon. You know, I don't know about that, but, I mean, I'm sure he does. And it's an awful show of us males and, like, worse, like, Black American males who contend with, you know, the depictions of the prejudice of them being violent. And that, you know, so there's going to be some lady who's watched the show and she's going to not want to, like, confront a black person because she's going to think, like, this guy's going to, like, snap at her or, like, he's going to be unreasonable. And, you know, this is what the police, you know, training videos look like. It's always a black person that's being all crazy, you know. And for some, like, the only black people they see are the ones on TV. So, and then, like, him acting all gangster, like, he can't be doing that. And that's, like, remnants of, like, toxic masculinity and men having bad role models. I was reading about a research paper about toxic masculinity. I don't know if it's true because I tried to source it. I couldn't find the article again, but it's basically saying it just you need a positive male role model because the toxic masculinity comes from, like, looking around the culture and looking around movies and hearing, like, you know, bad male examples saying, like, yeah, you got to be like this. You know, you got to smash on sight. SOS. These fools. You know, you can't. Positive role model would say something like, I remember a caller talking about spanking, and your thing was like, no, it's love and direction. You can't just beating people up. And then I'm like, and you know, okay, so we talk about, like, repairing things with the check, and, like, that's another thing. Like, how can we repair, like, all the fathers that we lost from getting locked up and the wars on drugs and, you know, all this, you know, all these, you know, the cascading effect of that it just seeps into the culture and the people and made them learn bad things, and, you know, then they act like this. They gotta be all gangster, and you know that's you know he you know, Will Smith is just trying to defend what's going on with his home life, and he's got other guys in the thing, and, you know, he can't do anything about that. But if he's gonna try to step to every guy and, like, all the cameras are on, I have to, you know, overcompensate. You know, you can't be doing that, man. You're out of control, man. You know, I know, like, this one doctor, he's like mental health stuff and self care and, you know, just words of wisdom. And the guy's like, hey, if two people, if one person's trying to be in control of you, and then you're trying to be in control of them, like, what is that? He's like, that's out of control because everybody's trying to control each other. Like, you can't be doing that. And you know, I think like
gotcha. Let me leave it there, brother. But I appreciate you, Bobby. I appreciate you, Bobby. Thanks for calling up, man. I appreciate it, man. What was it? What was it, Bobby? Before I cut you off, what was up? You okay?
No problem. Just like I like what you said about the elites. Just why the Pelosi's kept Pelosi's or the Epstein's kind of Epstein's, and they do whatever they want. I'm just gonna leave it there because I know it's been long. I gotta knock out too. Take care. Thank you, Sam.
All right, family. I appreciate it. Now, get up for my caller, y'all. Yeah, man. Bobby, I gotta respond to you about the whole. We don't want to give white people the impression that they can use this against us, man. Hey, look, if you're dumb enough to think because this rich guy got mad at this other rich guy and they slapped each other, this one guy, this one rich guy slapped this other rich guy, that means all black people slap each other? No, it's not. And if that's the takeaway that some people might have, I think they already had that impression to begin with. Like, I don't think there are people that see black people as rational human beings, like all people are the same, who are now changing their opinion because they saw this. And if you change your opinion of a group of people based on the actions of one person, then that's kind of weird. Like, you got problems. You get what I'm saying? Now, if your opinion is changed about Will Smith, I understand. Now, that's different. If your opinion is now changed about Will Smith, I understand that, because Will Smith walked off like he was a badass. Yeah, he slapped Chris Rock, little Chris Rock. He slaps little Chris Rock for a word he said he didn't like. And then he walked off like he was, hey, man, hey, brother, hey. I don't know how Will gets down. I don't know how he rolls in these streets, but I don't know. It's not a good look for Mr. Squeaky Clean. And if that's not the image, if that's all an image, and it's not who he really is, and this is who he really is, damn, he's been fooling everybody for a long time, Johnson. You know, he ain't Carlton. But he cashed all them checks, though. Aha! Cashed all those checks. Terry Crews got assaulted at a party and somehow kept his composure. Some people said he shouldn't have, because he was assaulted. He should defend himself. Will Smith acts out, gets physical over words, and people defend it. That's where I got a problem with, because I don't think you should defend it. It's simple enough to say, hey, I like Will Smith, but he did the wrong thing here. This is not a good look for his career. This is not a good look for those that admire him, that look up to him. He has a responsibility. He's in the public eye not to do this type of thing. We would not condone young people doing this. We don't want to see our kids doing this. This is not good. It's not a good reason to this. No. Now, if you reacted to a slur, maybe I could understand it. But even then, Chris Rock is a known entity. Remember, guys, this ain't somebody on the street. This is a comedian you're in a venue where a comedian is doing comedy on the stage. It's not somebody just walking up randomly that you don't know saying some shit. This is a guy you've known. They've known each other 30 years. So I really like my caller. I forget which one of the callers it was who pointed out this is not the first time that Chris Rock has made jokes about Jada. And maybe the last time he made jokes about Jada, it really stuck in Will Smith's craw. And maybe it pissed off Jada then. And Will was like, oh, that's it, enough. I've had enough. We've had enough. And I've got to stand up for her. Because remember, Chris Rock did not insult Will. He insulted Jada. So maybe I get the point that he's standing up for his wife. But there are better ways to do it. Will could have wrote an op-ed the next day. Will Smith could have done a lot of things. Now, to those people that are on my timeline on Twitter and on Instagram and on Facebook who disagree with me and said just one really pissed me off. Because everything is white and black. It's always, you're cooning or you're doing something for white people. So it's two brothers. I disagree with one of the brothers. Somehow, some way, that has something to do with whiteness. I don't know. It's two black guys who get into, one black guy gets offended and assaults the other black guy. And because I don't agree with that, somehow I hate black people. I don't know how that shit works, man. This is the difficulty. on social media. I don't know where that come from at all, Johnson. But somehow, some way, the result is blame Tim Black. I'm the bad guy. I ain't smacked nobody this week. And if I did, it wouldn't be on camera in front of the world over something they said in a joke at a comedy show. All right, I'm going to go to the next call. Y'all are some resilient people, man. Y'all still up. 816, you alive. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, this is Sanaya. I'm calling from Kansas City, Missouri. I want to say that I was very disappointed in Will Smith. He showed the world that as a black man and who has a black wife, that his wife has broken him. Because in the beginning, he was laughing at the joke. And what's sad as me is someone who grew up watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I remember Chris Rock coming on the show when he was reaching that point that he's at. It was like a slap in the face for real, for me watching it and seeing history being made and then Will unraveling and he's ranting about a joke that was clearly went past his head. From one moment he was like with it, and then all next minute this woman that he's married to had broke him. I was like, enough of Jada. I've had it. If this is beyond sick, he needs help. This woman has taken and broke his manhood and made him a very weak individual. This is not black love. This is hate. This is pure hate. This is misery. She's miserable, and it's pouring out onto the world. Everybody knows he's a comedian. And then he was on to the next thing, and Will was just like, I'm going to prove to the world, like, yeah, I got to prove my love. Like, no, you got to let it go. That's what you need to let that go. Because this is embarrassing. That's what I saw, embarrassment to black men. This is not healthy. Not for him, not for his family, not to the world. This is not healthy. This is not iconic. These are two iconic people that grew up. Myself watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and then my son, who's in his 20s, 21, who watched Everyone Hates Chris. Like, this is what people don't understand. You got iconic people, black men, and one, meaning Chris Rock, who was holding his composure after he got slapped like that. I was like, Will Smith needs to get some help. I had to tell my son right away, this is not healthy. I'm going to let you know, because I literally remember watching Everyone Hates Chris with my son, and the only thing we were left with hearing during the show was Chris Rock make a little joke, and my mama said, and my dad said, it's $1.10 a meal. Like, so it's like leaving those type of images in our young black men's head. It's like, what are we showing? What are we telling the world? You know what I'm saying? So I had to remind, just because I know I sat down as a black mother, single black mother, and was raising my son, and he watched the show with me, I had to show him, I said, Chris Rock did the right thing. Chris Rock did the right thing. He honored and did not show the world that he was, excuse my language, but he wasn't niggerish. He was very shocked. You know, he was very shocked because not only that, again, I remember watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when Chris Rock came on the show and was promoting, you know, getting Will Smith out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just sad to me. I was frustrated. I was like, you got to be kidding me. This is a joke, right? I was waiting for the old Will to come in like, okay, yo, or try to like, you know, like say something. I was not expecting that. And it was disappointing because I'm like, dang, this man just started a reboot of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He got all these young people that's on his show and all of this stuff. What are we saying? Who wants to work with a boss who's unraveling? Like, come on.
Give it up for my caller.
Showing young black people.
Absolutely, caller. I want to thank you for that. I appreciate you, sister, calling up and adding your voice to this. It's so needed. We needed you. We needed to hear from you. You're welcome. Thank you, sister. One more time for this caller, because, like I stated, we need to get some more opinions from women. And she took it to another level. She said she felt like Will Smith is a broken brother, a broken man. And she peeped the same thing I peeped. Will initially laughed. But then he saw the reaction of his wife and he changed his tune. And from her perspective, she sees some dysfunction, some toxicity. I was at a comedy club with my wife maybe 10 years ago. We were seeing Charlie Murphy. It's right here in D.C. I'm from D.C., guys. And we were at, it doesn't matter the name of the club, the Improv. The Improv. That's what it was, the Improv, Charlie Murphy. And one of the openers, and we were pretty close to the front. And it's a small bar, intimate bar type situation. And the comedian started talking to us. I'm like, oh, here we go. And he went a little long, kind of roasting and talking. And I'm like, and it was my birthday as well. So that was like extra, right? And she told him, because he's like, so how long y'all been married? And and she's like, oh, yeah. And it's his birthday. I'm like, oh, God. Mrs. Black. Come on, Mrs. Black. This is not good. Come on now, baby. Don't do this. Don't do this. This is not good. But I never thought about laying hands on a guy at all. Like, it could get uncomfortable. I get that. But back to this my last caller. I'm hesitant to say I don't want to turn into like I'm trying to decode a relationship and I'm in the psyche of Will Smith. I don't want to pretend that, okay? I don't want to go that way. I don't want to go there. It's okay if you do. I'm just saying what I won't do. But I will say this. I can't imagine at this stage of the game, I'm at my age, and I'm about Will Smith's age. About the same age. I can't imagine acting that way. So there's got to be, I don't know, like once again, maybe we just don't know Will. Maybe this is how Will is. Maybe Will is prone to act a little erratic. Maybe Will does this type of thing. I don't know, right? So we were watching somebody on TV thinking we know him. But I want to do this before I go to the next call. I want us to give Chris Rock a round of applause because he was very much composed. He was very composed. Hell, I remember seeing Steve Harvey in the Kings of Comedy because I'm a big comedy fan, y'all. I saw Cedric the Entertainer, D.L. Hughley, Steve Harvey, and the late great Bernie Mac in D.C. opened with, was it Tory? I don't know if Guy Tory was doing it. But anyway, and I remember there was part of this because you saw the film. And I also saw the clip where Steve Harvey, there was a guy in the audience and Steve Harvey had took his jacket and put the guy's jacket on when the guy left his seat. Remember that Kings of Comedy? And the guy, him and Steve get into a back and forth, and Steve was like, oh, you think, yeah, you think you can just whip my ass, huh? That's what you think? Oh, ain't gonna be no whipping ass over here. Yeah. Uh-huh. Joe punk ass, These is jokes, but we can get real. Uh-huh. Like Steve Harvey's an easy win. I ain't no easy win, nigga. Yeah. And Steve was letting you know Steve would fight. Steve Harvey said how he would fight. So comedians deal with this type of thing. Yeah. Uh-huh. They deal with this type of thing. And I just want to say, let me not joke and just say once again, Chris Rock deserves applause and support because he did not get. Because, hey, Chris Rock was within his rights as Will was walking away pimping to hit him in the back of the head with a mic stand or something. He'd have been well within his rights to do a flying kick, one of them kicks, one of them ninja kicks, Will right in the back of his damn head as he was walking back to his seat. You don't slap, to slap a man, that's a huge disrespect. That is huge. I'm going to go next call, yo. One more time for Chris Rock. Slap somebody. That's up there with spitting on someone. Horrible. (818). Let's go to 818. You're live, 818. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're good. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. There was a delay. Listen, thank you for taking my call. I'm a new subscriber. I wanted to say that Will Smith walked off after he did that like he was really James West from the Wild Wild West movie he was in. Dude, that was so not cool. Will was laughing initially. Then he saw Jada's expression. And then I felt like he had to react when Jada has disrespected him 10 times worse by the things that she's done, her antics in the press and everywhere else. She just has to verbally vomit and tell every crush she's had, every man she's slept with, whatever. So she's embarrassed him. I would like to say also that I don't think that Will would have slapped any other insult comedians, and that's kind of what Chris is, an insult comedian. He would not have slapped Jeff Ross. He would not have slapped Andrew Dice Clay. He would not have slapped David Spade. Let's take it to another level. He would not have slapped a member of the LGBTQIA community or an Asian comedian. He knew he would not have done that, but he felt no compunction in slapping Chris Rock. I also think that Chris did not, people are saying, oh, well, he attacked her disease. He did not. He attacked her hairstyle. He said G.I. Jane or whatever, the hairstyle. Him attacking her disease would have been him saying something like, oh, I heard you have a disease. Will, don't let her run her fingers through your hair, or something like that. That would have been that. And if you think back, if you can remember your comedy history, Eddie Murphy did a joke about Stevie Wonder driving in a car with Stevie Wonder. And Eddie Murphy said, Stevie, I'm not impressed by you or your awards or anything like that. He said, they call you a musical genius. That doesn't impress me. He said, if you want to impress me, come over here and take the wheel and drive the car. Now, did Stevie Wonder's wife run up and slap Eddie Murphy? No. They both laughed. Stevie Wonder said he thought it was hilarious. It's called a joke. And wasn't Jada and Will just complaining about the Oscars being so white? So now the white folks can say, you see why we don't invite you people anywhere? Because you don't know how to act. If I were Chris, I would sue Will Smith on principle, and I would take the proceeds and donate them to alopecia victims. Because what Jada did, I'm going to say this, and I don't want to be too long-winded. What Jada did, she could have made a stand for alopecia victims. She could have just laughed it off, maybe spoke to Chris in the background or after this. But what she did made alopecia victims say, hey, this is something we should be embarrassed about. This is something we should get defensive about. Had she just laughed it off, she could have provided a perfect example that said, hey, we can laugh about it, you guys. It can just roll off our backs. So she really screwed up a perfect opportunity to stand up for victims like that. And you asked a question about how women feel. Had my husband did that, I would have felt so bad. I would have never gone against him in public. I would never do that. But in private, I would have chewed him out because that was embarrassing. And that's what I had to say. Sorry for being so long-winded, but that's just what I had to say. It really triggered me because that was foul. What he did. That was really foul.
Wow. Give it up for this caller. I appreciate you so much for calling up, sister. Amazing comment. Thank you so much. The context you put down on this, man, this call said it all. I appreciate you reminding me I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? Because some of the comments I got, remember, guys, folks, Tim Black's Woodpack. Oh, and thank you for becoming a member of the show. Check this out. Remember this. Ayanna Presley, Congresswoman Ayanna Presley, sent this out from her personal account. Alopecia, hashtag Alopecia Nation, stand up. Thank you, Will Smith. Shout out to all the husbands who defend their wives, living with alopecia in the face of daily ignorance and insults. Hashtag Oscars. Women with baldies are for real, or for real men only. Boys need not apply. So, once again, we got people co-signing this behavior. Co-signing this behavior. And I find that troublesome. I find it damaging not only to our image to others. I'm not as worried about the image to others as I'm worried about the image to our young people. And I'm a little ashamed of some of the elder statesmen, Denzel Washington and Samuel Jackson. If this would have been a white guy slapping Chris Rock, with Denzel Washington and Samuel Jackson being okay with that? Just so you remember, guys, here goes that slap. But I want to get to the image with Denzel Washington with Will Smith. He didn't have a problem at all about it. Here he goes. They're laughing, man. It's funny. It seems like they thought it was funny. Denzel does not look embarrassed. He does not look like, Will, what are you doing, brother? This is not a good look. And these are folks. Now, we all know that Samuel Jackson is more of a revolutionary, sort of more of a, he did some sit-ins in college. He went to a historically black college. I don't know what Denzel has done in the past, but I know that he's made some very conservative comments about black people. And when black people talk about police brutality, when we talk about discrimination, he says you can't blame white people, you can't blame the cops, don't blame this, don't blame that, blame yourself and blame what's going on in your house. But when Will acts like an ass in public, in front of the world, and assaults another black man on stage at the Oscars, we get Denzel Washington, not expecting him to have any responsibility. So which one is it? I'm putting charges on all you. 24-hour lockdown. So, man, I'm just, the hypocrisy is what I have a problem with. Hypocrisy. I got a 510 number in the queue. 510, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, it's Luke from San Leandro.
Luke, what's up, brother?
So my comment is about the fact that that Will had his own right on things, but I feel like when Chris Rock kind of had like that kind of scared kind of look, like, wow, I just got beat the heck out of, like, what's going on? Like, I kind of sat there, I was like, wow, like, this is the main thing of it within itself.
You with us, brother? You sound like you got something else going on yourself, brother. So like you doing something else. But yeah, I feel you. I was amazed as well. I was amazed by that. Thank you for the phone call, brother. So it sounded like he was sneaking to use the phone, like his girl, like, what you doing up so? His partner, like, what you doing up so early in the morning? Who you talking to? Like Luke was sneaking to use the phone. That's how it sounded. I don't know if this sounded like that to y'all, but that's how it sounded to me. I'm gonna jump over to 909. 909, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Ken from California.
What's up,
Love
brother?
the show.
Hey, thank you.
Man, you know what the thing is they say you can't take the hood out. What did they say? You can't take the hood out the man, or you can take the man out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the man. The problem is, he ain't hood. He Hollywood, like, he been a weirdo for a while. He just
90 seconds.
This is terrible. It's terrible. He going around slapping people. It's terrible. I had so much I wanted to say, but It's just like people are saying he's defending his wife. He's broken. Will is broken.
That's a shame, isn't it? That's a shame. Good enough for the caller now. Caller said he had a lot to say, but the bottom line is, you feel like Will is a broken man.
60 seconds.
Yeah, man. And once again, like, we don't want that for him. We want him to, want him to be well, want him to be happy, well-adjusted. As a family man. We feel like we grew up with him because we did, from a tangentially, from a distance, through TV, through movies. This is not good, man. This is a brother crying out for help. Yeah, he's crying out for help, Johnson. That's how I see this. Let me see what my caller thinks over here. I got an 818. 818, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Ten seconds.
My caller been look. I've been on so long. My caller done went to sleep, y'all. Give it up for my caller sleeping at 818. The man done fell asleep on me. That happens sometimes. I keep those late hours. 312, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim. So this whole thing is always a sign to me that Hollywood celebrities are just way too entitled and sensitive. I remember when Ricky Gervais hosted the Golden Globe Awards 5 times, and he roasted practically every celebrity in that room and celebrities not in that room. And people were super offended. But nobody that was there slapped him. They joked him and roasted him right back, but nobody slapped him. In 2013, Seth MacFarlane hosted the Oscars and told a lot of offensive jokes, even a song about boobs, and nobody slapped him, even though they were super offended. So why is this so different? You mentioned how Rock and Will Smith have personal history. So why make it so personal at a live event like this? I don't know what the personal history is, but can't they handle it like civilized men? Clearly, Rock is a civilized one, and Will Smith seems to have something wrong with him. But again, why did nobody slap him McFarlane for his offensive jokes, or Ricky Gervais for his offensive jokes? And if somebody had slapped McFarlane or Gervais, would people have been okay with it? Because it seems like people are so offended now with these jokes that they might have been okay with slapping them. And I think that is just a dangerous thing here. And also, I mean, Will Smith's been famous for over 30 years. And Chris Rock, at that time, was doing stand comedy. And so he knows that if someone doesn't like your joke and they don't like it, then that's tough. You got to deal with that. But it seems like Will Smith has been way more in his own bubble and way more entitled and just more arrogant in his ways. And again, if you got a personal spat with Chris Rock, handle that amongst yourselves in a personal setting, in a civilized way. And
yeah,
it's just really weird.
Yeah, it is weird, brother.
I was wondering what you would think about it.
Yeah, brother. Good enough for Tony, man. I appreciate the phone call, Tony. And yeah, man. You said something that, and this is one of the things one of my callers was pointing out why she was so upset about it is that, what did you say? You said it was uncivilized. And Tony's a white guy, and he's talking about a black guy. And that's not how we want black guys to be seen. As a black guy, as a black man, I don't want to call another black man uncivilized. It harkens back to all types of stereotypes that we want to get rid of in this country that have been here way too long, that persist to dog particularly black men, but also black women. These are insulting racist stereotypes. And that was perpetuated tonight. And that's not something we want. That's not something we look forward to. And that bothers us. That bothers me. And what bothers me more than that are other people co-signing it just because they like him. Just because they are fond of his work. Because a lot of these people don't know him personally. They're fond of his work, so they're co-signing what he did. He said he had an excuse to do it. And there's no excuse for there's no excuse for assaulting us. No excuse. He could have got up and left. He could have got up. He's Will Smith. He could have got up and made a statement. It's a lot of things he could have done. He didn't do any of them. And then he's so ballsy. Excuse my French, y'all. He's so ballsy, his ass didn't even leave. He slapped a guy and stayed. And picked up his award. And still got a round of applause. I think Hollywood took a big-ass L tonight. And it's going to be everywhere tomorrow. It's already everywhere. But, they're going to be roasting. Oh, my goodness. Rush Limbaugh's ghost will be roasting you tomorrow. Believe that. They're going to be roasting them tomorrow, Johnson. 216, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Yeah. What's up, Tim Black?
What's up, fam?
This Tom from out of Seatown, Ohio.
My brother.
Yeah, I like listening to you. You know, you always giving up fearless commentary. What I want to say, man, is everybody saw that. Yeah, everybody saw that he had a genuine laugh about the joke until maybe Jada looked over. You know, she had the attitude, but her hairstyle. You know, she had a low cut hairstyle. I mean, it was a classy low cut hairstyle. I mean, it wasn't like he was embarrassing her. You know, so I don't get why he went up there and did what he done. But I think him being embarrassed, I don't agree with some of the callers saying that that he should get sued. I think he's gonna take that embarrassment and turn it into a routine and take it on the road eventually. You know, and to me, Will Smith is gonna be diminished. You know, because he was out of line, man. He was all the way out of line. He could have waited and got up there because he's gonna have the mic. He could have got up there on the mic and checked him. You know, that would have been even, greater than what he did, by smacking him, So, yeah, he acted like, like he the baddest man on the planet when he played Ali, with this, going up there like he did, with the guy, but, yeah, that's going to diminish him over time, I believe, So, that's all I had to say. I just wanted to make that point.
Well, good point, brother.
One other thing, Terry Crews, his wife was right there with him. And when dude came up there and grabbed his pack, it was like he had some history or something with him. That was crazy, the way he did him, like he did him. That was, man.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Now, like I said, look,
that's all I want to say.
It's all good, brother.
That's all I want to say, man. That was, but over time.
Good up for my caller, y'all. Good up for my caller. Yeah, man. Now, Terry Crews was well within his rights to defend himself after being assaulted by that man at that cocktail party. Very much within his rights. Chris Rock, nah. What Chris Rock did was not an assault. I think you have to stretch to call it an insult. But it definitely was not an assault. It was a joke that you find funny or maybe not. Definitely did not warrant a misdemeanor. It definitely did not warrant a criminal action. You know what I'm saying? 609, you alive. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim J.
What's
Just
up,
calling
Jay?
in to listen to everybody. At first, I took your take, didn't agree with it, but after everybody, I think maybe he deserved. At the same time, I feel like the problem is, number one, is that Chris Rock made fun of a woman, a black woman, who has a sickness, a disease that she has no control over, and she's bald because of. No one. I think we were past the point where people get made fun of for their sicknesses. If someone made fun of someone's wife, uncle, whatever, because of their sickness, whether it be a mental disability, a physical disability, you can't do that. And honestly, if someone did that to me, if someone made fun of my sibling, my wife or whatever, because of sickness, mental disability or whatever that they have no control over, they might get smacked in the mouth. They might get smacked in the mouth. Like you said, assault is assault, and I think that carries on to everything. Whether you get called a racial slur, whether you get called a slur because of your LGBTQ, whether you get called anything. You said it yourself, assault is assault. I don't know where we draw the line. I don't know where we draw the line when assault is okay.
A joke is not verbal assault, brother.
Who gets to draw the line? Who gets to draw the line and say that assault is okay in some circumstances?
I'll answer you.
It's assault.
An assault, okay, so the legal definition of assault is not a joke that you don't like, brother. That's not the legal definition of verbal assault. Verbal assault would be a threat. You have to threaten somebody with physical harm. That's considered verbal assault. It's not an assault to make a joke about your hairstyle. To say you look like you should be in a movie, G.I. Jane. That's not an assault. Come on, man. This is what's wrong with this is what's wrong with us, man. We are horrible, man. We are horrible. Where do these people come from? Where did you grow up? Where did you go? And you know what? And if you did feel like you wanted to smack somebody because they made a joke about your friend's hairstyle, because your friend and your friend has alopecia, then you know what would happen that would be different? Your ass would probably go to jail. That would be the difference, Jay. You would probably go to jail, and Will Smith is picking up an Oscar. Will Smith picked up an Oscar. He didn't even leave the building.
Definitely. I hear you. At the end of the day, the only one who's winning is the Oscars. They're making tons of money off this. Next year, they'll probably have the best viewership in, 5-10 years, you know? But at the end of the day, I don't know. I feel bad for Will. I feel bad for Jada. I feel bad for Chris, definitely. I feel bad for everyone that was involved. Another thing, the last thing I want to say before I'm cut off is that, what's his name? Roman Polanski, a sexual predator, was given an Oscar after he fled the country for the crimes that he committed. He was still given an Oscar. I think there's a lot of disgusting things that going on in Hollywood. But to say that Will Smith thing, that was bad. But let's not forget that these people are the same people who rewarded Roman Polanski an Oscar after he was a part and investigated for sexual predator activities. So good night, everyone.
All right, Jay.
I can't believe I stay up and say all this.
Jay with the bad takes, Johnson. Hey, look, man. People say, everybody doesn't always agree with me, brother. But I tell you this, man, you really put your foot in this one, man. You really stepped into this shit tonight, Johnson. Come on, man. First you call making a joke about someone's hair being close, which actually I think looks good on Jada, but that's neither here nor there. I think she looks good, personally. But okay, now it's making fun of someone's condition. Oops. Like I said, you don't have to like the joke. You just can't break the law by hitting the person who made the joke. That's all. Like you don't have to like you don't have to like it. Any joke. You can disagree with the joke. Now, remember Kramer, who was at a comedy club, and there was some people heckling him during his show, and he went on the tirade, the N-word tirade? Remember that? How many people remember this? Kramer, I forget it. His career is so gone, I don't remember what his real name is. Keith Richards, that's it. Keith Richards, who played Kramer on Seinfeld, had a meltdown, a classic meltdown, at a comedy club, and he called some black guys in the back of the club the N-word like 20 times or something. That's a racist slur. Now, if those guys would have rushed the stage and punched Kramer, that'd have been a little different. Because the N-word is a racial slur. Saying someone looks like they should play G.I. Jane #2 is not a racist slur. And when you say, where do we draw the line? We draw the line of physical violence over words that are not slurs nor hate speech. You guys gonna turn around and make everything hate speech. Hey man, you stink. Hate speech. I have a condition that makes me funky. I can't wear deodorant nor wash my ass. I have a condition. And there you go, making fun of my stench. Where did you guys grow up, man? I'm serious, man. Where do these people grow up at, man? Well, I grew up, we used to do roast sessions. We used to call it joning. My parents called it playing the dozens. Where'd you guys grow up? What did you do? I was so poor, that's what we did for fun. We sat on the stoop and we roasted each other. We made jokes about each other. You got one leg longer than the other. We made your mama jokes, your car so dirty jokes, your house so small jokes, your head so big jokes. We made jokes. Some things were true. Some things were not. It was called jokes. The thin-skinned Americans. Jesus Christ. 253, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, how you doing? Oh, man, first time I ever come across your channel tonight. I'm up here in the West Coast, Seattle.
My brother.
My
What's
name's
going
Robert.
on? All right, brother. What's up, Robert?
Yeah, I'm going to touch on an issue that I'm probably gonna piss people off.
Is it about this? Is it about Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle?
Yeah, it's about this. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
It's about this. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I like everybody's comments, what they're saying. But here it is. Will Smith and all these actors, they're supposed to be a role model for all of our young kids and the people that are growing up who wants to follow their shoes, right? So they're supposed to be having respect for one another, showing these young kids that, this is how we act. This is how we not act, And what really hurts me, I feel sorry for Will Smith more than Chris Rock. Chris Rock, he's a man. Will Smith, I feel sorry for him. Why? It's because after all this, he wants to stand up on stage and he wants to sit there and profess the word of God and say that he's been called to love people. He's been called to do something for people. He's been called to stand in other people's shoes, to show people in the world how these people change people's lives on who they were, right? Okay? If you're going to profess that kind of a lifestyle in your life, then you need to act like that. You need to walk in those shoes. And for Will Smith, his pride is totally in the way. If he laid down his pride and act like a real man, then he would have got up on stage and apologized like a real man would, without pride.
Well, Robert, look, first of all, before you go, Robert, I want to know.
I pray for him, man. I pray for him a lot.
Robert, why did you think we were going to be upset with your...
What's up, brother?
Why did you think we were going to disagree or be upset with your comment?
Because a lot of people don't like when people talk about God.
Oh, nah, brother.
And when people bring up God and the word God, right?
Okay.
So
okay.
I'm a man of God.
Okay.
I'm a man of God. I'm on stage every Sunday. I play the congas and bongos, okay, and I profess the word of God. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. I'm all over the place. I'm going to carry myself like I'm supposed to carry myself. I call myself a man of God. I'm going to walk like a man of God. I'm going to talk like a man of God. I'm going to be modeled like after who Jesus is supposed to be. That's who I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be a representative of Jesus Christ. If that's what I'm going to do. If these actors are going to sit there and be actors and they're going to be a role model for people, then act like it. Be a real role model. Be something for somebody and show somebody who you really are, man.
Hey,
but
brother.
I pray for Will Smith. I really hope that Will Smith will lay down his pride and step up to the plate and really, really apologize to Chris Rock in public.
Well, look, guys, give it up for my caller. My caller, thank you, Robert, for your comments, brother. We don't discriminate. You could, we can have Christians call, Muslims, Jewish folks, practice Judaism, whatever. It doesn't matter, man. Everyone has opinions, and wherever that opinion comes from, it's fine, brother. That's not a problem, man. And you're right. Will Smith did say in his acceptance speech something about being called. So you're not even the one bringing up religion. He brought it up in his acceptance speech. And there is some incongruity when you're talking about being called to serve others and you serve a slap. And then you don't apologize for it. That's crazy, man. I'm not saying you got to be perfect. But as one of my callers stated, Will had time to reflect on it. Okay, so the thing was said, he thought it was funny, then he thought about it, then he saw the reaction, and then his wife maybe saw pain in her eyes. That upset him. He reacted. He went up. He carried through with his action. He walked back boldly. He sat down and doubled down again on what he did, basically. And then when it was time to get his award, even though he had time to cool off, he didn't apologize to Chris Rock for hitting him. And he proceeded to get on his high horse about protecting his family. And I think it's a bad form. I think it's bad form. I just do. I don't think that has much to do with religion to me personally. But I know that you see life through that lens. And I get that, I understand that. I just see it through being a hypocrite. Because, and not being able to admit, hey, I made a mistake. Be humble enough to say, hey, I screwed up. If you'd have said, I screwed up, I'm sorry, Chris. Man, these tabloids got me crazy. I should have. But, come on. Come on. I think people are disappointed in him. And as my caller said, I think this will haunt him. Let me go to 484. 484, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Cynthia. I've been holding for a good while. I thought I was going to be going to sleep. Got a couple of. I want to say to you that first of all, I am from West Philadelphia, where Will Smith is from. I go to church with his cousin, currently right now, and my brothers. I'm a little older than Will, but my brothers claim that he used to come over and play with them. I don't remember that, but it's possibly very much true. I saw the whole thing this evening. What I want to say is I watch Jada a lot on Red Table Talk, and I don't agree with everything that's said, and I don't agree with everything of how they talk about their relationship, but that's their business. Now, getting back to what was said tonight. Oh, here's another good piece about this. A few years ago, I was in Vegas, and who do we see? My girlfriends and I, it's four of us, and we're in the Bellagio, and we go, oh, there's Chris Rock. And we're, hey, Chris, and I'm saying we're about in our late 50s. So, we're not, screaming down teenagers. We're waving, hi, Chris, how are you? And stuff, and starting towards him some, but not rushing him. The next thing I know, he turns around and throws his hand up and in our face like, stop. because he's getting on the elevator and six his bodyguard on us. Get him off of me. So I had a few little choice words under my voice. So I never really was liking Chris Rock, but I think all his material is good. Now tonight, when he did that, I want you to take that whole piece and look at how he came out. He came out and he talked about Denzel movie. He made a crack on Macbeth, but he took some lines out of Training Day or something. Are you there?
Go ahead.
Okay. So I just wanted to make sure you were seeing where I was lining up with this. Then he goes to Javier, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, and his wife, Penelope, are in the same movie. So he says something to the effect, it's not going to be a good night if you win and she doesn't. Okay, so that was cute because, she's a comedian and he's pulling out little parts about the movie. And then he says, so this guy will be happy if Will Smith wins, because he doesn't have to compete with his wife. I'm good up until then. And then he says something, hey, Jada, I'm, paraphrasing, and then he talks about, good, I hope to see you at G.I. Jane, which I've seen the movie twice, G.I. Jane 2. Now, I watched it very closely. Will was laughing during that part, too. And part of the laughing, I think, was still part of, he hopes that you don't win, Will. And then he gets right into Jada. Then he's still laughing, Will is. And then Jada has this look on her face, her eyes go up in her head, and then she looks at Will, and that's her husband, and that's his wife. Now, another thing here I noticed, I guess he looked at it like, Jada's not, that wasn't funny. The other part of it is, I don't know that Chris Rock knows if she has alopecia. I'm going to give him that, because they write everything, but you don't know if they know everything. And I could see where that bothered her, because you're losing your hair. And actually, I'm suffering from that. I'm the only one in my family with girls, and I always had beautiful hair. And I'm suffering from that now. So I see him then jump up, and he goes, and I'm thinking, what is he doing? And he runs up there, and at first I didn't think he slapped him, but because it went kind of fast. But when they bleeped out everything, I said, this had to be serious. And he goes back, and then he cusses, out loud and MF to Chris Rock. So I will say this. I think some of the things that people have said, I think that Will is broken. I think they have put too much of their business out in the street. The August Alsina, the Red Table talking stuff, pull them together, Black Twitter and everything else. There's been too much of that said. There's some issues going on there. Personally, I didn't think that it was a good idea. I didn't think it was a good joke because she's not in any current pictures. So why make a joke, G.I. Jane 2? That's okay. That's my snippet on that. The other part of it is Will had no business slapping him. That's assault. And I was praying, and I wrote on my Facebook page, I was praying that maybe Chris Rock does not press charges, because we have so much stuff going on among us as Black people. This week I cried over looking at the confirmation, and then how Cory Booker took up for Judge Jackson near the end to lift her up because she's being beat up by these white dudes. And I do think that in California and all, in this Hollywood, as I call it, they take care of their own. This could be a horrible thing for Will, and he could lose a lot of money. He could be sued, and he could be looked upon where no one wants to work with him again, even though this could be an isolated incident. So he had no right hitting Chris. And yes, he just about slapped the shit out of his mouth because Chris was kind of like a little bit tongue-tied, trying to get himself back together. But I think he handled that part well and moved on. I haven't seen anything about what Chris said, so except that maybe he's not pressing charges, and this may be a good thing. And all hindsight of it all, it's so sad because these are, and it breaks my heart. I'm up still because I wanted to talk to you, but it breaks my heart that our black brothers are looking like this and showing this all over TV, and that's what they think we do. I still think that he did a thing on black hair, about hair, Chris Rock. So, good hair or some kind of hair show or something he did.
Good hair, exactly.
Be sensitive. And he might, I don't know this, he could have known about Jada's alopecia. But I know he did a show about hair, good hair and bad hair type of thing. So he's not out like in the woods of not understanding black women's hair.
Gotcha.
So
I got to leave it there, sister. I got to leave it there. Give it up for my caller, Cynthia, though. I appreciate you calling in. And that was a very strong call, very informative call. And I want to try and get some more people in. I got some stuff I could say, but I'm going to save it just so I can get more people in because it's almost 5 o'clock in the morning here on the East Coast. But I thank you for that thoughtful, very, very deep, context-rich comment, sister. 860. You're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, thank you so much for taking my call. I won't take up much time. Brother Tim Black, love your show very much and the dialogue you're affording us tonight. Will Smith, to me, don't be surprised if he's not running for office. This was a Barack Obama 2.0 move, in my opinion. No different than when Barack called Kanye a jackass after the Taylor Swift incident. It's the same type of assault, in my opinion. He was basically trying to, emasculate another black man, which he knows will go over well with the society that we're in. Meanwhile, he can let Joe Wilson during State of the Union call him a liar, and he didn't, call him a jackass. Or what's that Jan woman from that congressman from Arizona that was wagging her finger in his face.
On the tarmac. Yep.
Okay. And, so I just wanted to thank you again for allowing us to expound on this. And a great show tonight. Keep it up.
Thank you, brother. I remember that, man. I forgot about that sister, that the congressperson who wagged her finger in his face, man. She wagged her finger in the face of a president, brother. I appreciate you. I forgot about that one. That was on the tarmac when he arrived in Arizona. Running for office, though, that's a different take. Let me get to my 619 number that's been patient. 619, what's your name? What's your comment?
Yo, hey, this is Reeves, 619, of course, Biloxi, Mississippi.
Yes.
I want to say to you, tremendous job, great show, and I like how you're handling the calls. And thank you to all the women calling in. Great comments. It really spreads the dialogue. All right. I think, I don't know for sure, but I think it was fake, essentially scripted. And I say that picture on your background in the upper left, you see Chris Rock, he's clenching his teeth, he's leaning in, his eyes are closed, and his arms are behind the back. Now, I've been hit a lot in the face, and I've never done anything close to that. All right. The other picture, when he's swinging back. Yeah, anyway. Another thing is, with these shows, when they go into a slump, a lot of times spectacular stuff happens. And so, sometimes it's real. When MJ did the moonwalk, I couldn't help myself. I had to watch the Grammys for 10 years straight just so I could possibly catch a moment like that again. But then you had fully scripted stuff, like in the MTV Music Awards with Eminem, when Sacha Baron Cohen got his bare butt dropped right on his face, weird stuff, right? I think with Chris Rock, supposedly the word is he's not pressing charges. I think that kind of lends it to being fake a little bit too. And then we got to realize it was a room full of professional fakes. You know what I mean? It was Hollywood, the land of make-believe. Everyone in that room can cry on cue. Everyone knows how to cry. That's the first test as an actor. And then, a lot of people have said, I don't know, this might sound corny, but a real man is not going to get offended by a joke, man, somebody listened to Don Rickles, right? Wow. People used to go to Don Rickles concerts just so they could get insulted, the other dude said about Paul Mooney, right?
Yes.
And then you got, now this is probably wrong of me to say. This is where someone might get mad, but in my case, if my wife cheats on me, she's gone. So I wouldn't even have to deal with that because I wouldn't put up with the stuff he's put up with, but that's different. And then, man, I gotta say one other, oh man, don't get mad at me, but it was a bitch slap on a 100-pound guy, and all I had was a flashback of Juwan Howard smacking that coach up last month. And then I guess I got to throw in one thing that I haven't heard, because everyone noticed he was laughing, after Chris Rock cracked that joke. But no one's really mentioned that after he smacked Chris Rock, he turned around, he's walking off stage, and dude is laughing then too. He's looking at his other actor friends in the front row, and he's got a smirk on his face, he's kind of cracking up. And I'm just kind of thinking, bad press is often profitable. The cameras were prepared for every angle. It had Will's face laughing, then it had Jada's face, and then it backed up so they could see Will walking on stage. And then, I don't know. It's just it seems pretty dubious. So, yeah, I don't know, dude. But a lot of great callers, a lot of great opinions, and I really don't know what happened, but,
Yeah.
I guess that's what I got.
Well, brother, I appreciate the phone call. Good up for my caller, man. That's an interesting take. And, when I looked at that picture, at the beginning of the show, because I've been online now, this show's been going live for almost 2 hours now. But, yeah, I was like, oh, man, when I looked at that picture, when I looked at this picture, this is what my caller is referring to. He looks like he's bracing himself. It looks like Chris is bracing for something. So, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I got a 559 number in the house. 559, what's your name? What's your comment?
Yeah. My name's Dirk, and I'm in Fresno, California, not very far away from the weird land. And I'm going to try not to make this call too long, man, because I know you got other people. I want to just say this. Chris Rock, better take care of your health, homie. Go get you checked out. You might want to go ahead and file a report. because you might have delayed reaction to that blow. And you said everything's 2 hours offset. When I saw the first footage of this thing, he had his hand closed. He connected. He pivoted off his right foot. Dude's had training. Will's had training. He knows how to connect. He connected on Chris. So, with that being said, we'll go back whenever he first cracks the joke. He did the Mexican people, then he jumped on Jada. Will thought it was funny. No big issue. Her eyes rolled in back of her head. 3 seconds later, he's coming up to the stage. Chris is he's conformant. He's not threatening in a situation. That's whenever, Will got up there and he struck him. That was a strike. There ain't no doubt about it from what I seen. That wasn't no open hand thing. So, with that being said, is this. Will was a musician. He got with an actress. That was like a Bill Cosby trained deal over there. Will was a musician at one time. They always teach you this. Be composed. When you go to perform, be composed. These people are in a setting. That is a PG-rated setting. There ain't supposed to be no violence in this thing. It's an award show. They got security and all that. There's an etiquette to it. Will broke etiquette. And whenever they show the people in real time, whenever that all went down, when you see the look of terror on their faces in the audience, to me, that says it all. Will got emasculated by his old lady. She's been goofing off, screwing these younger dudes. He's just been sucking it up. It ain't long for Will before he probably just going to eat a bullet because he is broken. He needs to get therapy. He needs to get with Chris. He needs to work this out because that ain't right. I don't care what color you are. Violence is violence. And that's where the dude's at. He's broken. That's all I got to say, man.
My brother.
Good luck and God bless everybody out there.
My brother Dirk, man. Go ahead, brother Dirk, man. Wow, man. There's some great calls coming in, man. Different perspectives on this thing, and there's a lot of people who said they think Will is broken, man. And you're right. This is not about Now I think the only thing I take issue with is I think it was a slap because I got the pictures, man. Looks like his hand was open the whole time. Not saying that makes it okay. It's still assault. I guess you still get checked out though, don't you? I guess that's good advice anyway, right? Get checked out just in case. 619, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, hi. Hi, how are you?
I'm
My name
good.
is Kai.
Good.
So listen, my husband was an actor from 1992 until 2007. And our kids, whenever they would talk about Hollywood with him, he always would talk about how nice Will Smith was because he was in Men in Black with him. And he was on set, and Will was always cordial and nice and professional. So to see this tonight just blew my mind. I have not talked to my husband because he's at work about this. But what I want to say is, yes, he was laughing with Chris. He looked at Jada. Jada gave that look like the devil wears Prada, pursing her lips together. And then I was a signal, better take care of it because mama going to be mad. You know what they say about mama. If she ain't happy, nobody happy. But he didn't really have to do that. I really don't like that he did that. And I feel the same way like many, many other people have said. He should not have hit the man. You don't hit Chris Rock. You don't even go up on stage. Come on. And then the men before me, that spoke about Chris Rock getting checked out. It's not about Chris Rock filing charges. It's his management that can go around and do that. Because if Chris Rock is damaged, if he's damaged in his hearing or his teeth, the management can file charges on his behalf. That's all.
Good point. Tell your husband we said hello and see what he says about Chris Rock, man, or about Will Smith's actions. What he thinks about that. Wow, I just wondered, man, it's out of character for Will. Sounds like it is. I'm sure your husband would have told you if Will was a bad guy, if he seemed like a tough guy or whatever, but I don't know. That's 951. You're next. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, my name is Saran. I'm from Huntsville, Alabama. And my opinion on this situation is just that I agree with a lot of the past callers. That's the bad part about going so far down. But I'm sorry if it's a bunch of repeating points. But basically, I felt ashamed as a black man that another famous black man misrepresented us so royally in front of the world. I agree with one of the other callers that said, like, as soon as I was thinking when I saw the video, when I first saw like O'Shea Duke Jackson cover it, I saw his title saying like, yo, you know what happened? Chris Rock got hit by Will Smith. And then I thought, oh, he probably joked on Jada cheating on him. Then when I actually watched the clip, I was just disappointed in general. Because I was like, bruh, like your hair renders you able to go commit assault? That's silly, bro. Like, are you serious? I went to school with a bunch of racist white kids. I know how to crack jokes. I know what roasting is. Like, that's where I learned to roast, with a bunch of racist kids messing with me. So I had to get back at them because violence wasn't the answer and the teachers wasn't going to do nothing. So I don't really understand. I think it's a pathetic thing that we're so soft. And I'm only 26. And I look at like our current day society. And I'm like, dang, you have soft elders and a ton of soft people my age. And it just doesn't make any sense. Like, this is what we're mad about. This is what, and let me say this, man, that lady, her hair is fine, okay? She looks all right. She didn't look bad, but she definitely got the Professor X going on with that baldness coming, because literally that cue where she didn't even say anything, it was so crazy that all she did was roll her eyes, and this man went from laughing to jumping up and assaulting another brother that I thought was his friend. I thought they were friends, man. I thought they were close, and it's just ridiculous, bro. And last thing I'm gonna say is this: I'm gonna get off. Look at his stance, bro. Look at his stance in that first slap picture. That's a sissy hit, bro. You that big, and you're gonna throw like that? Come on, man. Like, at least act like Hancock was kind of real. That's stupid, bro. Like,
wow.
I was embarrassed off that too. This is a weak hit. Yeah, man. Like you was 5, and that's how I know he was actually scared to come off the stage, or his adrenaline was definitely rushing because he didn't think about how he looked throwing that hit. He just was freaking out and doing it. But I think he's out of control. I'm not supporting that man no more because I don't agree with supporting black folks that make us look bad. But that's it, man. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, man, thank you for the phone call. I appreciate it, young man, and I agree with you. I agree that it's not a good look. But you represent us as well, brother. So you keep representing us in a positive way. And just because someone has money doesn't mean they make the right decisions. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you, young man, for calling up. Wow. He said he felt bad about the way Will threw that punch. That punch looked a little suspect. That's not a real punch. And I'm glad he did throw it that way. I don't want Chris to get knocked out. Chris had his hands behind his back, like daring him. I don't know what to think of that. So 305, you alive. What's your name? What's your comment? 305.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
All right. This is BJ from Miami.
BJ, okay.
All right. So first of all, that was really a coward move by Will Smith. He just didn't have to do that. And, I myself am suffering from alopecia, and it's not that serious. Yes, a woman's hair is her pride, but again, it's not that serious to commit assault. And if my boyfriend or husband did something like that, that's not you being a man for me. That's just too much. You taking it, above and beyond. But what I was gonna say is that Will and Jada, they put their business out so much that they don't want people to say anything. But anytime you put your business out there, you have to expect that people are going to bite and start to say things, and you have to know how to take it, or just don't put it out there. Good example, when Jada put it out there about her entanglement, a certain rapper named 50 Cent, he hit on it. And we know 50 Cent can go in on you when he wants to. Well, Will did not try to fight 50 Cent. He simply asked him to stop. So he could have done the same thing with Chris Rock. He could have just talked to him offline and said, hey, man, don't talk about my wife like that. It was unnecessary. And I think it would have been squashed. But I just think that was a coward move because he picked someone who's smaller than him, whom he probably felt was soft. So, but as far as the assault, even if Chris Rock does not want to, basically say, yeah, he assaulted me, I want to press charges, probable cause basically states that it can still be done. It doesn't have to be Chris Rock to do it. It could just be, the whole world was watching that. So the fact that a crime did take place, that constitutes probable cause. So I think that whether Chris Rock wants to do it or not, it just needs to happen, and a lesson should be taught there. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, caller, for your call. I appreciate you. I appreciate that comment. And it's good to, like I said, it's good to get different opinions on this. We're all coming up pretty much the same place, on this issue. It's unfortunate. It really is, man. These guys, they're larger than life figures. My caller did say that they have a responsibility. That's going a little bit too far. But if you say you have a responsibility and you've been called, well then, this is not the way to demonstrate that. But it is unfortunate that on a huge stage like this, we got these brothers that know better acting this way. And when I say brothers, I mean really Will, because Chris just doing his job trying to get a laugh. That's all he's trying to do. I don't think he was trying to hurt Jada in any way. I think he was just doing his job, trying to get a laugh. He made a joke about Penelope Cruz, and then he kept on going, and he got to Jada. That's it. But I'm going to go to the next call. 571. You in the house. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, unexpected. Thank you for taking my call. Well, I listened to everyone, and we all agree on same things. This is a biracial household. My name is Bella, calling from Woodbridge, Virginia. I am actually from Istanbul, Turkey. I was really sad watching that tonight. I gave birth to a black, beautiful daughter. And everybody's upset. But I always tell my daughter that when they say, hey, look at black people, they say this about you, they say that about you, don't listen to that. These things should not stick to us like it doesn't stick to them. I tell my daughter, we are surrounded with white people everywhere, but that doesn't mean we're surrounded with excellence. So when we check ourselves, we must do it for us, not for others. I'm really sick and tired of Black people trying to prove themselves twice as more than every other race. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Welcome, caller. Thank you for calling up. Give it up for my caller, y'all. Yeah. And I get your point. And, this is about how we carry ourselves, how we conduct ourselves for ourselves, not so much for other people. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to please yourself. It's about your self-image. But these people are somewhat ambassadors. When these people are celebrities. They go in front of the world on a constant basis. It's everyone should conduct themselves in the best way possible. But let's admit it, an average person on the street does not carry the weight nor the scrutiny of a famous celebrity. Just doesn't happen. So it's a level of responsibility and a focus. And I know that may be cumbersome, but come on, guys. All you got to do is not punch someone or, not smack someone. It's not a big price to pay for fame. I know you got to deal with paparazzi, and that's annoying, I'm assuming. But you can't go punching paparazzi and slapping paparazzi because you just get sued. So it's not just morally wrong, but it's also economically wrong. It's wrong for business too. So I'm going to go to the next call. I want to appreciate you guys hanging in there. And we're getting to the end of this. But I want to try to get everybody in quickly. 646, how you doing? What's your name? What's your comment?
646, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, fam.
Great comments. Thank you, brother. My name is Fred. I'm from Los Angeles. I live in Los Angeles, but from New York. Great comments. I don't want to rehash what we already saw because we know what we saw. But I agree with a lot of the views. Like, if this were Ricky Gervais, like the guy said, The Rock, Billy Crystal, B-Max, Steve Harvey, or Don Rickles, his ass would have still been sitting in his seat. If it was a white man up there making a joke, he would have been sitting in his seat. He never would have put his hands on it. What he did to Chris literally was, in my view, he wrote a check that his ass ain't going to be able to cash. He has scarred this man for life. When you get assaulted like that on television across the world, hundreds of millions of people are watching this. You have social media now. He will be a mime, a meme, or whatever you call it. They'll be making fun of this incident for life. He's scarred. He has to pay for that. He has to pay for that. I'm so upset with him because, first of all, there's not many of us in the room. And he's embarrassed Black people that struggle to get to this point. He's going to pull this on this man who he knows he's obviously looking at him as soft and he can get away with it, but he would never do that to anybody else. But Chris Rock is damaged. And like that sister said, she nailed it. I didn't think it from a perspective. That's why it is good to get the perspective of a woman. He is a damaged man. And Jada, like this brother made a joke about Professor X, I was laughing, but I understand what he's saying. She gave him that side-eye look, and he went up there and committed that violence. So he's broken. He's just a broken individual. I know he definitely has a civil suit. He may not want to get him locked up. He probably will get locked up for this. But if he doesn't, he definitely has a civil suit, and rightfully so. And he should be banned from the Oscars. He should never come back into Hollywood. Should never invite that, and you can't condone that in any way. I'm so upset with that. I really wasn't even paying attention to this until somebody told me. And I'm an actor out here. I don't watch the Oscars that much, but when somebody told me about it, when I saw it, it troubled me to my soul, because this is us in front of the world, putting hands on another brother in front of the world. And by the way, I don't care what anybody says. I know what I saw, and you know what you saw. And that was not staged. That wasn't a punch. That was an open hand bitch slap. That's basically what it was. And Chris took it. I thought he would have knocked him out, but obviously that says he ain't got that kind of power. But Chris took it, and I have to give my hat off to him. He handled it like a professional. Because if he had been going to it on the street level, who knows what would have happened? You know what would have happened. You know, there would have been some brawling and all kinds of stuff going on. So thank you for what you do, and a lot of the comments are excellent, man. But I have no respect for that man right now. He cannot make this right for me. You know, that was despicable, disgraceful, and like these other sisters said, and these other people pointed out, putting their business out in the street like that, he's damaged. The sister had it right. He's damaged goods. And that's a bad example. And again, like I said, and I'm going to end with this. This ain't going away. Chris is, like that other guy said too, when you get injured, when you get hit like that, you usually will feel it a day or two later. He may have fractured it. Who knows what he did to him physically, but mentally he is scarred for a long time. And my friend who's an actress out there said he didn't come back out after that. So and then at the other side, someone said too, I believe his team is going to handle this. Trust me, they're dealing with this right now. They figuring out their options, but definitely on the civil side, he's going to catch it. And rightfully so. This was despicable. This was disgraceful, and a bad look for black people across the globe, across the world. Very upset about it. And I believe in forgiveness, but for this one here, it's not for me to do that. That's up to God, and that's up to Chris. And but I can't forgive him for this. This is just no excuse for this. And like preaching that thing about God and all that, that's hypocrisy. You know, you either about it or be about it. And if you're an actor, then maybe you should act like it. If you're an actor. Wow. So I'm going to end with that, man. Thank you for this.
Man, give it up for this call and putting it down, man. I appreciate that. Well said, brother. Well said. An actor in L.A. putting it down with his opinion on this. And I appreciate it, man. I tell you, I know it looks a little suspect in a way because Chris, but I just think Chris, he trusted Will. And maybe he thought that Will was going to pretend like he was going to smack him. And then he really did it. Like, maybe he thought in this first picture here, maybe Chris thought, this is my guy Will. He's supposed to be a little pissed off. Maybe he's going to act like he's going to smack me. But he's not really going to smack me. I mean, it's crazy to think the guy would actually smack him.
Hey,
So,
Tim.
yeah.
Tim, the last thing. I didn't understand this alopecia thing. I had to play it back. Because what I heard him say was, hey, Jada, I love you. This G.I. Joe, can't wait to see it. That was the joke. Because G.I. Joe sucked. The horrible movie. That was the joke. Plain and simple.
See what I'm saying?
Listen, people in Hollywood that are part of the Screen Actors Guild get these films ahead of everybody. And they can get to see it. It was garbage.
It was whack.
And that's the joke that I saw.
That's the joke. Well, look, bro, look. I tell you, man, look, for some, look, our phone line look like it's gone. It is 3 a.m. That's messed up, man. I'm trying to, our phone line look like, I was hoping I could get the last calls in. But it looks like our phone line is gone. It was just spinning on me and spinning. So that's not good. That's what happens. It hung up. It's like, okay, that's it. But I want to thank everybody that came in for the show tonight and who called in. Because a lot of folks called in. It was great getting new callers to call in and weigh in on this issue. I want to say this, guys, because it does seem weird that Chris Rock would stand like this. But I want to say this. I don't think these folks. I don't think that Chris Rock and Will Smith would do this as a scheme. I don't think this was a setup. And the reason why I say that is I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. I think it puts black people in too bad a light. This is not, I don't think it was a sketch. This puts black people in too bad a light, and it jeopardizes their brands, particularly Will Smith's brand. This is not a win for Will Smith. There may be some women, some black women, and some black men, frankly, but I would think more women, and particularly black women, there are some women who thought this was good. So Will, stand up for us. Thank you, Will. As another caller pointed out, Cory Booker stood up for Ketanji Brown Jackson. And that's how, He's putting it in that lens. Okay? But I think this hurts Will with a lot of folks. And I think the downside does not offset the upside, or the upside doesn't offset the downside. There we go. I don't think it's a wash. I think this is gonna hurt Will. There are gonna be people that don't feel safe working with Will. Once you show violence, there are gonna be people that are gonna have apprehensions. Once you show that you are out of control, emotionally out of control, it's not a good look. So that's not a side that they want to see of you. Now, Dave Chappelle had a skit with Wayne Brady, where Wayne Brady played the tough guy, killer, someone totally counter to his demeanor, public demeanor, and his professional demeanor, because he sings show tunes or what have you. And you guys remember the skit, Wayne Brady is like Training Day or something. Remember that? But that was the skit. And we knew that Wayne Brady was acting a role. That was not him. That's why we laughed. That's why it was funny. But see, Will is not in a role capacity, and now he's playing opposite to who people thought Will was. I just think it's a bad look. I don't think that Will Smith, I don't think that Mr. Smith would risk his career, his brand, on a great night like this where he wins an Oscar as a sketch. Yeah. They don't need the publicity. They're already famous. They don't need the money. They're already rich. And there's too much downside. So that's why I come up on this, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Speaking of comment sections, I do have some commenters, some folks who made super chats and some comments. So let me get to those. Keith Weston, salute at TBTV. I'm an overnighter, TB, so I'm always active at night. Glad I'm at work tonight. Thank you, Keith Weston, for supporting the show, Johnson. You keep the lights on, brother. Thank you. Bobby Barnes. Bobby Barnes in the house. I appreciate you as well. We got a new subscriber, Wendy Gonzalez. Weedy Gonzalez. I know you, Weedy. What's up? Glad you came back, fam. The Latin Boston hater. 1979. Don't sit in front of a show you may get clowned on. There it is. Don't sit in front of the show you may get clowned on. It happens. Worthless Dead End says, if you believe that speech is violence, you would use violence to silence speech you don't like. Everybody's too damn sensitive these days. There it is, Johnson. That's the thing that got me, man. All these people, too many people I felt were supporting Will Smith's actions. Like, how you gonna support bad actions, negative actions, violent actions? Come on, man. It's okay to say, that's my guy, but my guy screwed up. How hard is that? That's my guy. My guy's acting out of character on this one. Let's get some support for him. He needs some help. That's what friends do. A friend wants you to get better, wants to help you get better. It doesn't enable your bad actions. That's not friendship. West East Bay. Will protected his wife. Jokes are jokes until it represents you or close ones to you. Will snapped. His victory speech said everything to be honest. He snapped. Nah. You know what? And there are a lot of people in cemeteries because they snapped. And there are a lot of people in cemeteries because someone snapped on them. Okay? So this is not good, brother. So if we would have got a gun and shot Chris, that would have been wrong, right? Why would it have been wrong? Would it have been wrong if Will would have taken out a gun and shot Chris? Why would it be wrong? Because he has no right to shoot someone, right? He has no right to slap him either. Get what I'm saying? Like, if it's the same action. It's morally indefensible. And it's also against the law. If Chris was attacking his wife physically, then he can attack Chris. But you don't use violence against words of a comedian on a stage at a show. Oh, come on, man, don't waste my time. But I appreciate you supporting the show. It's just your comment is garbage. But I appreciate you, man. Will versus Rock versus Olivia and Logan Paul coming soon. 15 mil each. 15 mil each. Wait till tomorrow for clarification. Hey, Logan Paul made a comment, bro. Logan Paul said, Chris got rocked. Yeah. That was a good one. That was so good. So good. Who wrote that for you? He was in all caps too. Power Ranger Alvin Negro. Wick Smith versus Chris Rock. Glad Rock is an adult. Yeah, I agree with that. He handled it like a professional. He was within his rights to handle it badly if he wanted to. Chitty Chai. Will, Jada, and her boyfriend are going to end up pressing emotional assault charges against Chris Rock and the Oscars. Just watch. Man, y'all crazy, man. Yeah, y'all crazy. Look, I hope that you guys join this channel because I'm going to start covering. This is fun. I cover a lot of politics, and it's not as fun as this because no one died. It is not about someone stealing our democracy. You know, it's not about, you know what I'm saying? It's not about the war. And we can have opinions about it. I'm still upset, though, that two brothers, you know, that this happened to two brothers on a night like this, and that Will Smith acted this way. And then he doubled down on it. You're a grown-ass man. Will Smith is a grown man who should act with discernment, control, self-control. And once we lose control like that, then bad things happen. So anyway, Calvin Bruton Games. Calvin Bruton Games. I just said to somebody, if Kanye would have been crucified if it was Kanye. Yep. If he smacked Chris Rock, people are hypocrites. Go ahead, Johnson. I said the same damn thing. If it was Kanye or the Baby or 50 Cent, Lil Wayne, J. Cole, name somebody, anybody. Big Sean, if it was anyone, anybody. See how violent they are. But since it's Will Smith, it's like, oh, but Will's a good guy. That right there, he wasn't. That right there. Right there, he was right there, he was an ass. He was an asshole right here. Violent asshole right here. Over a joke. Over a joke. Now, here's one thing, guys. I want to add this. And I'm not saying now. You heard everything I said. Is it possible? The first time Chris Rock made the joke about Jada at that other event. And Chris Rock made a joke about Jada in another event a couple years ago. He said that when they were boycotting the Oscars, he said, "How you gonna boycott Jada? Nobody invited you." Remember that? What if after that event, Will reached out to Chris Rock and said, "Hey man, don't do that, bro. Don't do it." Maybe that's why he did what he did tonight. Maybe before he told Chris, man to man, "Look, bro, don't do that." And then Chris does it again. So, but even then, guys, even then, you deal with it personally. You deal with it offline. You don't do it in front of everyone. You go talk to him. You have a conversation. Maybe you're never friends again. Maybe you, I don't know. You do something. but you don't have to resort to assault. That's all. You don't have to resort to assault. That's it. Kofi says, fantastic show, Tim. Thank you for going strong on the topic. Your perspective is needed. Subscriber since 2013, another hit for the black male image. Yeah, brother. Yeah, brother. Kofi, I appreciate you, fam. But look, it doesn't look good for us that he did this. But you, I, standing up, us not being kidnapped or not being held captive by stardom, not being overly biased or towards Will Smith because he's a big star, but holding him accountable in our own way, that does speak well for us. So Will let us down today in a way because he's Will Smith. He's one of the most famous black men on the planet. And I think there's no country he could go to that people don't know who he is when he walks in. So, yeah, he represents us in a lot of venues. But we represent us every day. And at least to the people that saw this show, we're representing right now. And hopefully, we're representing it the correct way. And that's all we can do, bro. That's all you and I can do. So we're doing our part. And that's something. Eric Blackson says, he wouldn't have stopped Dave Chappelle or Nick Cannon. Hell nah. I don't think he would have, Johnson. I don't think he would have. Bo's outside. If this stays okay with them, then more assaults get encouraged. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I think it does. I hate to say it, but if Chris does nothing, well, if people defend Will Smith, there will be more acting out. Yeah, I could see someone else, because it gets in your psyche, right? So I could see somebody else reacting violently towards publicly based on the precedent. We're not gonna take it. You know, that type of thing. So yeah, it could get a little worse. Damn, this is who we are, Johnson. Is this who we are? We can't take jokes. I don't think it's worth it, Johnson. We're not gonna take it. Man, in a country where we got all these problems, this is what we fight over. I mean, we got a lot of problems, Johnson. It's a country. For us to pick this, you know, it's a lot of things that's wrong in America. Gas prices too high. People don't have health care. People working without benefits. People on strike, unions striking, not getting adequate pay. And when we fight back, we're fighting back because someone made a joke at the Oscars. Yeah, that's an L, Johnson. That's an L. That's an L. That's a big ass L, Johnson. Just hold that L up. Just hold the L up. Tim Shear said, this ain't a color thing. It's a respect thing, Johnson. Come on, man. I respect that. But you know what? Color always plays in because this is America, man. You know, we get into, like one of my callers said, you know, civilized. Will Smith acted uncivilized. It's like, oh, damn. We don't like white guys saying that shit. You know, as a black man, I don't like white guys saying that shit. You know, but, you know, as a black guy, I can say, I mean, there used to be a commercial like this, but the guy with the deodorant, right? That wouldn't be civilized. We don't like that. We don't like that type of stereotype because it's out there. So as much as people say there's nothing to do with race, it's America, baby. We can't get away from it. You know, it's in the DNA. It's in the environment. It's already in the cake. The eggs are in the cake. You can't take the eggs out the cake. It's already in there. Tim Shear says, it could have been a great skit. He could have pretended and walked away laughing. That's what I'm saying, Johnson. He could have pretended and walked away, man. Why not do that? And if he wanted to defend her, he could have said, hey, Chris, like he's there. He had the floor. He could have said something. Use your words. Come on, Chris. You know, he could have did a Paul Mooney and just talked about it. I don't remember Paul Mooney getting physical. Okay. Gilly WB, thank you for the support. Happy days. Thank you. I appreciate you. Happy days. I'm King Xerxes. Will Smith has been getting up. Will Smith's been getting beaten up online and in the media after the issues with his wife. That joke was the straw that broke the camel's back, Johnson. I said the same thing in the beginning, but you know what? You don't get to break the law. So yeah, it's the straw that broke the camel's back if that's the case, but you don't go break the law by breaking protocol. And if if it's a straw that broke the camel's back, then you need some help, Johnson. Because that means it wasn't warranted. That means you took all your shit out on Chris Rock. That's what that means. Because what he said, in my opinion, guys, does not rise to the level where you need to be, that you need to get violent. That's all I'm saying. Now, if Chris Rock would have made jokes about Jaden or about Willow, I would have understood a little bit better. I still would have thought it would have been wrong to get physical. But he didn't. He made a joke about his very famous wife, who is also an actress, about a character in a movie. Like I said, if somebody gonna get physical with Chris Rock, it should have been Shucky Ducky. Quack, quack, Shucky Ducky, quack, quack. Remember that? That's who should have got physical. Or it should be Doug Williams with Jamie Foxx. But not this. This is nothing. This is Rudy Poo. This is Garbaggio. This is nothing. Nothing, I tell you. Will. Thank you, Will. I appreciate you, Will. In the house, my brother. Alan said, nothing to do with race, everything to do with culture. I don't know, man. Up until this, you would have made that statement about Will Smith. Some things have to do with mental health. How about that? How about we reframe that? How about it has to do with mental wealth or mental health? That's how I see it. Mental health. That matters too, brother. He's this, Alan, maybe it's just mental health, man. Maybe Will has something he's going through. Maybe this, Hollywood, they say Hollywood can be toxic. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the takeaway. All right, folks. Wow, what a night, Johnson. This is crazy. Yeah, I don't co-sign at all what Will Smith did. I don't think it was taking up for his wife as it was taking up for himself. I don't think that's about himself. I'm sorry. I don't think that Will Smith did this for his wife. I think he did this for himself. He did this for his standing with his wife. That's a different thing. Okay? Get what I'm saying? Actually did it for himself. Get what I'm saying? Him and that something with his wife, I don't know. But that's how I see it. And it was wrong. And I doubled down on that. I'm tripling down on that. I think what Will did was wrong. And I'm not moving off that. He could have made other choices. He a grown-ass man with grown-ass kids capable of making a better choice than to smack Chris Rock on live TV to the world over a joke made on while he's presenting an award. Anyway, so, yeah. And I think people should be more concerned with Chris Rock's mental state. Well, I think people should be more concerned as well. It's a lot of talk about Will, but no talk about Chris, who's the person who got assaulted tonight. So for all my feminists who've been in my timeline, who were pissed, because someone were pissed at me because I supported Chris Rock, and they said I don't support victims. Who's the victim here? I think the victim's the guy that got smacked in the face, Johnson. I mean, I don't know who you guys say the victim is here. I don't get it. How's Will the victim? In all other cases, the person who receives the punch is the victim, but they were dead set on that. That's one reason why I wanted to go live, because I got tired of typing. I mean, I don't want to type no more. So we got a phone line, so we call up. So look, guys, we do phone lines on this show every Tuesday and every Friday. But as you see, when some major news happens, if I'm capable, I go live. So I encourage you all to become members of the Tim Black Wolfpack. That's our community. It's full of great people. Hope you become a member of it by going to jointimblack.com, jointimblack.com, or you can join right here on YouTube if you want. And Mondays and Wednesdays, I do a live video podcast called Pause with Tim Black. And Tuesdays Tuesdays and Fridays, we do this show, a call-in show, the Tim Black Show. So that's it, guys. That's it. Enough talk. I got nothing but love for you. Remember, don't let nobody take your cornbread. What Will Smith did tonight was wrong. It was not a good look. I'm not saying cancel him, but he's got some redemption to do, some redeeming of himself to do. Chris Rock was a stand-up guy. He stood up. He was a hell of a professional. And if anything, Chris Rock's his cachet went up. His equity went up today. He went up in the rankings today. His power rankings went up considerably because he held it together like a pro. And Will Smith lost a lot of cool points. All right. That's it, guys. Thank you, guys, everybody in the house. I appreciate you once again. I'm Tim Black, Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. And I'm Tim Black at Night on Instagram. Peace. Whew, Wolfpack.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to TimBlackTV.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.